Okay, so we're cross-examining Nick. Uh, so whenever you're ready, Mr. Wright.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember what voice I gave him, so we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I gotta do a goofy voice to start. You know me. I can't.
You're gonna have that goofy voice the whole time.
I know. It's like I feel like voice acting is like inherently a little cringy to me. So like I have to like make light of it before I like to ease into it. You know what I mean?
Voice acting is cringy? Wow, we play a lot of games with voice acting.
No, I know. It's like, I think it just stems from the performativity of it all. I think performing in general, like, it's not like cringy as in like the modern definition of cringy. That's like, I don't mean that it's bad. I mean that like I become very self-conscious when I'm doing it, you know? So by making light of it and not pretending like I'm trying really hard, even though I am, start with a second attempt at your gumshoe. Yeah, that's good. I think I could do that. It's like if I got in my gumshoe wrong and then I do a second and then by the third gumshoe I'm pretty good at it. You know. But yeah, I can't. Okay, it's gonna be ouchie. Give me a second. Don't look at me. I gotta cover the camera. Oh, the giggles.
Want me to read the line?
That evening, Christoph and I had dinner. Okay. That evening, Christoph had dinner. We sat at the table in this photograph. Shady Smith walked in 5 minutes after Christoph left. When the trap failed, Smith hit the waitress.
Wait, before we go on, I figured out what that is on the plate. And
what is it?
It is a pierogi.
Oh, I know a pierogi. I haven't had it, but I know what it is.
Yeah, it's just like it's like a meat or fruit pie thing, basically. Pastry or bread on the outside, more like bread, and then like filled with something. Yeah. Okay.
The girl was knocked out cold, and Smith was uncontrollable. I left to call the police. When I returned, he was dead, blood streaming from a cut on his forehead. That's when I made another phone call to defense attorney Gavin.
Dark Data, you said they have snow in that cafe you just noticed? Oh, yeah, they have snow.
Snowy, yeah.
I assume it's fake snow, because otherwise, like... Wait, no, they said they keep it very cold, so...
Yeah, they keep it very cold, yeah.
So maybe it's real snow. Well, it's still fake. Fake snow, but, like, not like fake snow, like, fluff. Like, a snow machine? I don't know.
Yeah, like manufactured snow.
Yeah. Which really sucks. I hate that snow. As somebody who had a history of snowboarding, it is really awful to snowboard on.
Yeah, because like if it doesn't snow very well at the beginning, right, they have to like throw some fake one with some hay, I think, right? Is that what they do?
Oh, I've never known them doing hay. Like when I go to like mountains in quotes to snow and there's or to snowboard and there's no snow and but it's cold enough so they make fake snow. It's way more slippery and icy and it's less soft. So it's harder to control and it hurts a lot more when you fall. Mr. Gavin, you were at the Borscht Bowl Club in the night of the murder? Oh God, I still hate this face.
I dine with him rather frequently.
I still don't like the lighting on that.
Yeah, it's weird lighting.
And he talked to the defendant on the phone directly after the murder.
Quite against my will. Become involved in a murder. I thought I might need a lawyer, so I called him. You were planning this all along, weren't you, Fright? Just because you wanted to drag me into your little murder trial. The truth is, the truth is, it's the only thing I want. The only thing I want is the truth, as I did back then, and now. I thought my office was doing you a favor when we took your defense. It appears I was wrong.
Very well. The defendant may cross-examine the witness.
Justice?
Sir!
He's lying. You're going to expose him.
Understood, sir. Mr. Gavin and Mr. Wright. This can't end well. Why can't I have a normal trial? Let me reread it. Why can't I have a normal trial? I don't know. I didn't like the way where I put the emphasis. Okay. You had dinner with Mr. Gavin?
Yes, he diamonds me at the Borsboard Club quite frequently. We were enjoying a usual dinner at our usual spot, as usual.
Usual?
I always sit at the table closest to the piano.
I see. Where Mr. Smith was sitting.
So the plates and such on the table were from your dinner?
Indeed, the remnants of my meal with Christoph. We dined for 2 hours, then Christoph left after that. I feel like that's how long it takes for you to have dinner.
Who?
You. Shad JV, the human.
What?
Like
2 hours? Excuse me.
Normally, like dinner for me usually is like maybe like 30 to 45 minutes. Like,
I do not take
savor your meal.
I do not take longer than that. I had dinner right before stream. It took me like after my food was ready. It took me like 20 minutes, but that's because I couldn't touch the food for like 8 minutes because it was so hot. The soup was like scalding.
Yeah.
That was soup. Of course, I'll eat soup a little faster because it's just soup. You're practically drinking it.
Yeah, you're just drinking it. Yeah.
But like,
yeah, that like, drinking soup. It's like a PTSD flashback for me.
well, I messed up the recipe and it said to use half of the Italian spices that it came with, and I accidentally used the whole packet. And I was like, okay, well,
very spicy soup, and not like
it wasn't really
spicy.
Yeah, it was a very strongly flavored soup. It wasn't bad. Like, I've had worse mess ups I made in dinner, but 5 minutes. So the two of them could have passed in the restaurant during time. So the two of them could have passed in the restaurant during that time.
That would have been a fateful encounter, to be sure.
Like the video game series. I don't know.
Fateful encounter?
It's got to be a series. It sounds like a series.
It does sound like
Sounds like a Japanese series. JRPG or something.
Yeah.
Maybe a mobile game series.
PlayStation 2.
It sounds like a gacha game. That's what it sounds like.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Mr. Wright, what was it you said? Christoph Gavin and Shady Smith may have met?
I believe I did just say that.
Yeah, I was all nervous about this meeting.
His face reminds me of like Cranky Kong or something with the way his mouth is.
Yeah, no, I think you mean like that Wong Kong from the TV show.
Oh god. I probably know what you're
talking
talking about. I don't know the names. That TV show is awful. Do you mean the one that was like always like kind of scheming and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. I only kind of know because I, like a month ago or something, watched a video that was like every Kong in the Donkey Kong franchise, and it went over those ones too.
Although looking at the Donkey Kong characters right now, they do all look very similar in that way, yeah.
It's the big, like the lower lip kind of sticking out more.
Yeah.
That he had there. Well, if we ever play a Donkey Kong game of some kind, this is the voice you gotta give Cranky. So.
And now we hear that he just passed in the hall.
That does seem a little weak as a pretense for murder.
Oh, it would be fine if that were all that really happened.
Well, there's no fine.
It would be if that were all that had really happened.
Come on, Mr. Wright, what are you hiding this time? About this failed trap. This is the same trap that Miss Olga O'Reilly mentioned. The plan was simple, elegant really. You see, we set up a trap of sorts. I was to plant a card in Wright's pocket beforehand, and then deal 5 aces during one of their games. When their hands were revealed, Smith would call him out and search Wright. He would then pull out the planted card and the trap would snap shut. You swapped the cards! Just like that, the legend would be dashed into pieces.
Yes, harmless prank, in essence.
It's just a prank, bro.
It's just a prank, bro. Like, I wanted to completely destabilize your profession. Because you've never lost. So, it's just a prank. And it was a quirk of fate, and it was by a quirk of fate that I happened to discover it. A quirk?
Yes, the Zero Escape character.
Oh, I thought it was for all my Hero Academia heads.
Oh, I wouldn't have gotten that reference.
Powers. I happened to put my hands in my pocket and found a card.
The card she planted!
Yes, I snuck a peek at it and found that it was the 5 of Hearts. I had a feeling something might happen, so I disposed of the card before the game.
Disposed? Where?
There was an empty bottle of grape juice I had been drinking right beside me. I threw the card inside the bottle.
An empty bottle of grape juice?
The murder weapon?
No one said that. Yes, now I said it. I rolled it up and shoved it in. The colored glass makes it hard to see.
A battle of wits between the deceiver and the would-be deceived. That sounds like terrific drama. I'd watch it. A card inside the murder weapon? That's strange. Did the police miss it in their investigation? Maybe I'll take a look. Card? 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 I see no card.
There is no card.
My client's a liar. He must be guilty.
Do you have to inspect it again, or is it...
No, it had a red check
that
mark.
leasing?
It had a red check mark, so it meant we already... There's nothing new. Mr. Wright, the poker head of courtroom number 3 approves of this battle of wits. Please revise your testimony with this new information.
I discovered the trap during the game and disposed of the card inside the bottle.
Should you just present it?
I don't think it... Would it be here?
Why not? It's a contradiction. There's no
Yes,
card in
yeah.
the bottle.
Yeah.
Mr. Wright, if I may,
Yes.
I've examined the bottle and I don't see any card in here.
No?
What, Mr. Wright? Surely, isn't all you have to say for yourself?
Can't say I know what happened to the card. I did put it in that bottle, however.
Huh?
Perhaps a fifth person came and took it out, or a sixth person could have helped.
Mr. Kristoff, that's our client. Why are you talking shit about him?
Mr. Gavin, Mr. Wright is your client. Why are you talking shit about him?
Mr. Gavin, Mr. Wright's your client. Why are you talking shit about him?
Then Wright has to say.
My apologies, Your Honor.
I won't have you disparaging our investigation either. We looked inside that bottle. There was nothing.
So what's going on then? Is Mr. Wright hoodwinking? Okay, I'm gonna try that again.
Wiki.
Is Mr. Wright hoodwinking us again? Hoodwinking to us again?
Hoodwinking 2 back on the yard or whatever it is.
Oh, I don't know what the subtitle. I don't think I even watched the sequel. I liked the. No, I think I watched it and I just did not retain it because I was like, this is bad.
I didn't watch either of them.
The first one's actually really good. Has a lot of good twists. Hey there, cool name. Welcome, Teddy Wright. Dark Data said I discovered it by a simple quirk of fate, aka my magic secret detecting Megatama. Or did the card just disappear? How are you, cool name?
In any case, please continue the cross-examination. I'm afraid decisive contradictions call for decisive evidence.
Oh.
Push him hard to justice, break him. It's just you and the witness in the ring. Go for the KO.
Ugh, why do I get the feeling we're not on the client's side anymore? Yeah, Dark Data said Hoodwink 2 was a huge trash fire of a movie, but the first one was pretty decent, if not the best animation. I wouldn't say it was the best, but it's one of the better animated films, especially for like non-Disney ones. It was really good quality. I'd say it might actually beat Shrek, maybe, in terms of like fairy tale CGI movie. It'd be a hard pick. It definitely beats like the later Shrek movies, but that's not hard.
Guess I might have to go watch that movie.
Okay, what changed? Huh? Wait a minute. Okay. Well, I guess we'll keep pushing... Oh, well, we didn't actually push the new statement. Or press, sorry. Why in the bottle?
I perceived my opponent's intent immediately. I'm used to entrapment, you see. I knew what was coming.
Ho ho, so you struck first. I like that.
I know every trick in the book. They don't work on me.
At least when you get lucky and stick your hand in your pocket, they don't. You made the call to the police to the first floor of the restaurant, correct?
Exactly. Cell phones will get a signal down in the hideout.
Was anyone else on the first floor at the time?
Not a soul. It was the middle of the night after all. So there's a piano upstairs and downstairs?
What?
Or there's no piano downstairs? Because you can see a piano in this.
He's upstairs where the piano is. Downstairs is just the poker room.
There's no piano down there?
I don't think so. Do we have a picture of the poker room? I don't think so. Because this is clearly upstairs. This is a different setting than where they play the cards on this rectangular table.
Maybe that's why I keep thinking that there's a piano there.
Yeah, the piano's here.
that
This
picture.
is first floor.
So he must have taken the bottle of juice with him downstairs.
Sure, why not?
I guess. So.
He plays better when he's drunk a lot of grape juice.
So there in the darkened restaurant, I called the cops. After making the call, I returned to the hideout. It didn't seem right to leave the injured waitress alone.
For the piano is the friends we made along the way. Yeah, Dark Data. I think that picture is not downstairs. It looks like that's the first floor.
The only reason why I know what to do in this one is because I vaguely remember the what we need to do from last time we played this one.
I mean, it's an intro case, so it shouldn't be that hard, anyways.
Yeah.
When he returned, the victim was already
Dead, yes. I'll admit, I was a little startled when I walked in.
By the way, last time I played Monster Hunter with a friend Rashua, we had some randos on the quest. One of them was a Japanese player, like all the text in Japanese and stuff, which Rashua can read Japanese characters. She doesn't always know necessarily what they mean, but she can read the characters. But one of the things they ended up saying was the "you are already dead," but obviously in Japanese characters.
Yeah.
And, which I only knew because she was able to read that. I was like, oh wow, this is a Japanese player just saying that.
Listen, I'm sure it's a very popular meme in Japan.
I figured that was literally like an English meme. Guess it's universal.
We gotta ask Nero's husband if they use it from where he's from.
Maybe. Well, no, grape juice is not censorship, just actually grape juice. Nah, I don't believe that. I think it's actually grape soda, and they're censoring it to grape juice.
It's carbonated.
Yeah. Well, carbonated and grape juice has juice in it. Grape soda has no juice. It's just sugar and flavoring and carbonation.
Yeah.
A little.
He was bleeding from his forehead after all.
I guess I'd be startled too if I walked in on a scene like that.
That's where I'm gonna go.
Could you explain why you called Mr. Gavin?
Baby. I'd obviously gotten involved in a rather sticky affair.
Oh, like that one time with Mr. Edgeworth?
How do you know about that?
Oh, he told me.
Oh. I didn't peg Mitsurugi for a voyeur, but guess you learn something new about your partner. I mean, your friend every day. Your roommate.
Yeah, he told me all about that time he spilled grape juice everywhere.
Oh yeah. That yeah. Yeah, that time I spilled creamy borscht all over myself. And
Creamy?
Walked in.
Is borscht creamy?
Listen, Apollo wouldn't know.
I mean, I wouldn't know.
But
I didn't think it was, but
it's not. But like, I'm trying to get Phoenix to imply something else. And I figure Kristoff's offices will give me a friend rate for my defense fees. Glad to hear you intend to pay. Oh, I'll pay in full, Kristoff. It was I who got you involved after all. You may find the price of your defense quite high, my good friend. Quite high.
don't you determine that before taking on the case? Like, you can't provide a service and then afterward just make up a price.
Yeah. That's entrapture. Is that what it is?
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it's at the very least not legally binding.
Yeah.
Is this the truth that Mr. Wright was talking about?
Entrapment. Yeah, that's what I said. I said entrapture. I meant entrapment.
I mean, one day the entrapture will happen.
Yeah, we're all gonna get entraptured. I think they could get away with like saying, giving you an estimate and saying that, you know, like your fee may change depending on, because like, not to dox myself, but we're having a service done to our house, and that's kind of like the situation. It's like, well, this is how much you're expected to pay, but if anything happens, right? And at that point, I think they have to like tell us that they need to charge us more. I don't know how it works. I'll let you know when the thing gets done.
Yeah, I think other than the estimate, like if they use more resources or it takes longer, because you have to still pay for the time spent. You have to still pay for the materials they used. But in the case of like lawyering, unless it's like, oh, this has taken extra days, which maybe that is the thing. Like they be like, well, it's this much per day. But you can't just be like, oh, I didn't like what you said in the case, so I'm charging you more.
Yeah. Justice, you know what you have to do. He's lying, expose it now.
Yes, sir. I have to think. What's Mr. Wright trying to tell me with this testimony? The truth has to be in there somewhere.
Whoa.
Okay, so you said you know what to do?
Yeah.
Where are we going? Which statement?
That one.
This one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then you're gonna present the crime scene photo. That one. No, photo 1, not photo 2. He's wearing his hat. How would he have seen the cut on his forehead?
Mr. Wright, if I may.
Yes.
Take a look at this photograph of the crime scene.
Every time I get my life.
See the victim here? He's wearing a hat and it makes me laugh.
That's not very funny, Apollo.
I wouldn't think you could see blood on his forehead.
I mean, he is laughing. Look at that. Good point. Justice? Next time you point out an inconsistency, put a little more oomph into it.
Mr. Wright, can you explain this to the court?
Ah, I forgot to mention something. I was the one who put that hat on his head.
Eh? That's tampering with a crime scene.
You?
Actually, it might not be tampering with a crime scene. Because the police didn't show up. I've been watching a playthrough of Great Ace Attorney with an actual lawyer.
Your lawyer, streamer person that you...
Yeah, until... there would be...
It's not a crime scene until the police officer determines that it's a crime scene.
Yeah, that it's a crime.
Yeah, exactly.
Otherwise, the crime is currently still happening.
Yeah. So, like, if a crime were to happen in my house, and I wake up, notice the crime, call the police, and, like, clean up around the crime scene, it wouldn't be the crime scene yet. It would, because the police hadn't come to tell me that.
I mean, a lawyer could make a case either way, but a lawyer could make the case that it wasn't a crime scene yet.
Mm-hmm.
Because it wasn't determined that there was a crime yet, because you're not authoritative to determine if it was a crime.
Exactly. It's like you're calling because you think a crime happened. The police have to come and...
anybody watching, I am not a lawyer. I'm not giving legal advice.
That's hilarious. The Shad JB defense. Well, the streamer that I watched told me that it wasn't a crime, so you can't litigate.
They told that it can be arguably not a crime, but it arguably isn't tampering with the crime scene yet. So
yeah,
You put the hat on the dead man's head.
He wore it through the entire poker game. After calling the police when I returned to the scene, his head was in full view. Shining bright, just like in this photograph.
Shining bright like a diamond?
That's what I think it was like.
And
I picked his hat off the floor and put it on his head.
Just so you know, your Phoenix voice is kind of quiet. I'm not sure if you're aware. If it's like far away or... I'm trying to adjust with it, but your other voices aren't as quiet, so it's hard to...
Yeah, no, I'll pick up the Phoenix voice. You okay?
Yeah, I don't know. You're the one doing it.
I know, I was just checking, like, you seem to be fiddling with stuff. I don't know if it's my audio. Like, I can stop if you need me to.
No, go on. I actually think that overall I just need to raise you a little.
Why would you do a thing like that?
All I can say is, I'm sorry. But that's the only thing I've touched at the crime scene.
So, Mr. O'Reilly didn't see it? It being the victims, or his head. And C being, like, perceiving something with her eyes. And O'Reilly, I mean the person from before.
I think not. She was out cold. I believe I was the only one who witnessed his head. Here we go again.
Mr. Gavin?
Pardon? It just seems that our client is determined to lie his way through this case.
Hey, he's still our client, isn't he?
I believe that's enough of that.
Mr. Gavin?
The witness's testimony is more like a travesty. It's riddled with lies. I'm beginning to see how you came to lose your attorney's badge 7 years ago. Well, you certainly have a unique way of treating your client, Christoph. I never knew. I believe it was you who threw the first stone.
Mr. Wright, if you intend to ever tell the truth about this case, it's now or never.
Don't be misled. I haven't told a single lie here.
Eh? I'm Canadian
I
now?
noticed the trap. Oh, when I noticed the trap, I put the card in my lucky double, and then I put that in my Tukey.
Wait, you put it in your coffee?
Yeah, and then I put it in my Tukey, and then
I don't know what a
Tukey
Tukey is.
It's a hat. It's kind of like a beanie, but it's not. It's appropriate. It's appropriate to the bit. Shad JB. It's appropriate to the bit. Ugh. I would swear in French Canadian, but I don't want to get demonetized.
I thought you were saying you're using coffee as an enema.
No. No, yeah, I feel like I really would dox myself if I start swearing in French Canadian.
Well, everybody will know you're in
I'm
French
streaming right
Canada.
now. Just put it in the bathroom or something. When I noticed the trap, I put the card in the bottle to dispose of it. And when I put the hat on the victim's head, let's just say I had a reason for doing that as well.
a reason?
That reason is right here.
Your cell phone? I've never seen a cell phone like that in this year.
Yeah, right, because it's 2024? Is that 2026? 2026.
In the original trilogy, which took place years prior, at least had flip phones. This looks like a step backward from flip phones.
It is a step backward from flip phones, you're right. Well, we're getting there. We're turning back. You've seen new phones nowadays.
Not really. I've heard but that there's flip phones again, but I
Yeah, there's flip phones again.
use a smartphone, so.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The smartphones are flip phones. Like you flip it, and it's a dual screen like a 3DS. It's weird. That night, Recall that I spoke with Defense Attorney Gavin after calling the police. Just in case, I recorded our conversation. What's this?
Style dark data.
Now that we're all here, I see no reason why I shouldn't play it back for the court.
Play it back now, y'all.
5 hops this time. It's just you just hear thumping 5 times. Christoph, I seem to be in a bit of trouble. What's this? A game not going well? Something like that. The gentleman who challenged you, who turned out to be good, turned out to be dead. Someone hit him hard. You mean someone cracked that flawless bone china pate? Pate?
Pate, yeah.
Pate? What's a pate? I think they meant to say plate.
Are you sure?
I don't know what a pate is. I'm gonna look it up.
I can look it up. Is that not pate? A person's head.
Pate is like
Pate is an archaic term for a person's head.
oh. Is it pronounced pate?
Hate.
Oh God, yeah, I've already just heard that. It's a pate. Yeah, it's pate.
Hate.
I never really heard that, but quieter.
Yeah, it is pronounced pate.
Yeah.
It's also the paste in which porcelain is made from. So, like, that's like a weirdly appropriate in 2 ways.
I
Because
guess.
China is porcelain.
I guess it was poetic.
Listen, Christoph be knowing some words, y'all. He knows big words. It wasn't you, was it? Me? Please. The cops should be here any minute. I'm in your hands. Should it come to that.
Bone china pate. Oh, bone china plate.
See, I think they did mean. Oh, okay. There we go. Thank you, Phoenix.
They're like, no, people are gonna think this is a typo unless you call it out.
Yeah, you had to call out the fact that it's not a typo. I wonder what the Japanese for this was.
Yeah.
Because, like, the whole point is that, like, it's like, how would have Christoph known that the guy was bald? He was wearing a hat the entire time. But, like, what would that play of words be in Japanese? You know?
Yeah. It's a lot of work for me to figure that out, so I'm not doing that.
Yeah, no, I need to just start playing these in Japanese. I'm learning how to read Japanese, so I think I'll be eventually be able to do it. I'll get back to you guys in like 5-10 years. Kind of porcelain, very smooth and shiny, and not plate, but pate. I believe he was referring to a certain gentleman's balding forehead.
The court appreciates the defendant's discretion in not indicating my forehead.
I thought it was a stylistic choice that the judge was bald.
Wait a second. Something not right about that phone call. So, after Mr. Gavin ate dinner with you, he left the Borscht Bowl Club. He left the Borscht Bowl Club.
Most certainly.
Then how did he know? When did he see this bone china pate?
Oh, that's right.
Yes. That was when I began to see my good friend in a different light. Troubled, I returned to the crime scene. When I spotted Mr. Smith again, I realized exactly what was wrong. Well, Mr. Gavin, the stage has been set. Perhaps you would like to explain this to the court? Exactly how did you come by your privileged knowledge of the victim's head? So, this is your reason? The reason why you put up the victim's hat back on? Your point, Mr. Gavin? It's come down to this, has it, Phoenix Wright?
Order, I will have order. Mr. Payne,
Yes, Your Honor.
I believe this court has been left with no other choice. Are you prepared to hear defense attorney Gavin's testimony? I think this is a conflict of interests,
A little bit.
but I'm not sure.
Well, as the prosecutor,
Very well. We'll break for 10 minutes. After which Mr. Gavin will take the stand for a cross-examination. Are we all clear on that?
Crystal clear, Your Honor.
Very well. This will be the final recess for the day.
Mr. Gavin and Mr. Wright are both in the judge's chamber. I wonder what that means. Who'd have thought today would turn out like this? Oh, this is you.
Who is this? Is this Trucy? or
Your
whatever
prompt
her
is Magic Girl.
name is? Yes, just say it's Trucy. I know who she is.
Maybe it's a different Magic Girl.
No!
It's
They added a new one in the remake.
it's Unagi.
Unagi? Who's Unagi?
Who's Unagi? Sailor Moon?
Usagi?
Usagi.
Usagi?
Usagi.
Yeah. Was Sailor Moon's name Usagi? I feel like it had to have been. I
Yeah,
feel like it had to have been, but that's just like the word for rabbit.
it is just the word
Like her
for
name
rabbit.
was just. I was gonna say, was her name just Rabbit?
I think it was just rabbit, but it might have been. I don't think it was. That's the Japanese. I don't think they use that in English.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, yeah, because her name in English is Serena.
yeah.
Because Serena is the name of our moon. It's actually Serena.
Yeah, Usagi Tsukino.
Yeah. And Suki is moon in Japanese.
Yeah, so
her
served
name
in
is-
Rabbit Moon.
Have Rabbit Moon, yeah. That's fair. Should I do like a vaudevillian transatlantic accent?
I mean, this character is gonna obviously exist a lot, so
It's just like very Spinell, from hit TV show Rocky Friends. Oh,
Nita Morales.
here, give me 1 second while I take this call. Make sure it's not an emergency.
okay. We'll wait for that. Wonder if that's a picture of the judge in the background. Just a side shot of the judge for some reason. Very artistic. Yeah, hope you're all doing well. If you haven't seen it, I do recommend the VOD from last night's Mario Party. It's probably not going to go on my YouTube because kind of how the Mario Party Madness works. We kind of been giving people exclusive postings for each game. Different people have it, and that one's not mine. So, I'll of course link when it's up for everybody in the Discord. But because that's going to be an edit that'll edit everybody together into so you can see. I think everybody's webcams and stuff. It does a really cool job with it. But haven't watched it yet, but Nintendo. It was a wild game. It was bonkers. It was a 4 versus 4, and there's just some insane stuff happening. Like it was probably one of the craziest Mario Party games I've played in a while. So, and we'll be doing another Mario Party game in little over a month on my birthday, March 11th. I'm sure it'll be too late for you, Dark Data, so you can see the VOD if you want. But that'll be coming up, and that's going to be a special game. I got to pick the board and the rules and stuff since it's going to be on my birthday. Otherwise, this week we have another code on Thursday where we're going to be probably finishing the first game, possibly starting the second. Hoping to get through that by the end of the month, but I'm not sure if I will. But after that, then we have our upcoming. I haven't even really hid what the next plan is. I've talked about it in Discord and stuff. So like it's the Ocarina of Time Majora's Mask randomizer. That will be whenever we finish the Another Code games, and that's gonna be pretty crazy. It's a shame, but not really avoidable. About the timing, yeah. I mean, especially given the times for a lot of them, like we have to do it later just because of when they're available. There's time zones for the players. There's work schedules. Yeah, it's unfortunate that I can't have things be when everybody that wants to watch it, like at a time that everybody can watch it. But thankfully, that's why we have VODs, we have YouTube. I wish that I had done YouTube uploads from the start of my streaming, because I really like to have all the content available indefinitely. Twitch is fun, and I love it because I love being able to interact with everybody, but it's also very ephemeral, and I've never really liked my content being only available while it's happening, and that's why I wish I got on the YouTube sooner. So there's always going to be the few years of streaming that I don't have on there, but I try to make everything available on there going forward. I've been struggling to make an upload every day lately, but we're coming along with the uploads. We're almost done with Ace Attorney Investigations, and after those, I will probably be uploading probably the Banjo-Kazooie Jiggy's a Time stuff. Then after that, I'll probably do Ghost Trick, and then after that, I'll probably do Gruntilda's Mask. I don't know. I might, when March hits, I might start uploading 2 games a day again, because it's the content's coming out kind of faster than I can keep up with uploading it. But yeah, I hope things are okay in Inheritance, and because he kind of stepped away for a moment, but I'm looking forward to when we get into parts of Apollo Justice that him and I have never done together. Because right now we're still kind of going down kind of familiar roads, but soon we won't be. And then I have lots of other plans for this year on stream. I hope you've all been doing well. I hope things have been that you've been doing some fun stuff on your sides. Is there anything before you start uploading YouTube that you'd ever consider replaying? Of course, there's a ton of new games to compete for your time. So I did kind of, for a while early on in my streaming, my Thursdays was kind of a retro Thursday thing. And one of the things is I did pretty much back-to-back all the Donkey Kong countries, Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie, DK64, which I didn't finish DK64. I would consider replaying those, especially since individually a lot of them aren't actually that long. The first game I actually streamed outside of a test stream of Mario Maker was Twilight Princess HD, which I streamed that right at launch. And I don't think I'll redo that in itself, but I would do a randomizer of that. I don't think that Inheritance I would do the Ace Attorney trilogy again. That took like 2 years. Or at least it took like a year. It was a long time. And if I ever do the original trilogy again, it would not be with Inheritance. It would be if in a hypothetical future where there's somebody else that I want to kind of expose them to it, but I don't know what that would be. I don't know what else there is. I think the Pikmin games, I don't think I would redo those. I don't know. It's hard to think of. Like, it's hard to even remember all the things I did. there was a while that I just did Super Mario Maker 1. It wasn't even Super Mario Maker 2 now that I think about it. It was Super Mario Maker 1 that I did on stream originally. How is that? Yeah, you had it on and off cold. That sucks. I hope that it's goes permanently off soon. Cold suck. Yeah, but I don't know of anything that I necessarily would redo. Like, I feel like mostly what I've streamed in the past few years has been more interesting anyways than what I initially streamed. I didn't have a ton of direction outside of the Ace Attorney trilogy, which, like, Inheritance and I want to get through this. We want to get, which all three, the 3 games here to get through. We wanted to eventually do Danganronpa. There was a shorter game that Inheritance gifted me for Christmas that we want to do this year that I'm not going to announce yet. There's I think there was 1 or 2 other things that we had talked about. And these visual novels take a while. So I'm not sure with Inheritance I would. I would like to do more than just visual novels at some point with him, because we did in the past do some other games. Like we did Guacamelee, we did some Super Nintendo games of Kirby Superstar. We did I think we did Rayman Legends on stream. I know we played through it together. I think we did on stream. Those were near the start of my streaming, before we kind of settled on visual novels. Oh, he's back though.
Oi, oi, oi.
Welcome
I don't have my
back.
headphones on yet. Give me a sec. Okay, I got my headphones on now.
Welcome back. Are things okay?
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
Okay.
Just putting out some fires, you know. When your job is to take care of your ailing parents, you're always on the clock.
It's okay. Dark Data had good discussion points. But whenever you're ready.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to watch Savad because I'm interested in what you answered to that question about what you would like to replay, if anything.
It's less interesting than you think. It was interesting to discuss, but there's not really a lot that I said I would. But
yeah. Is she like excited or is she like nervous?
She's asking, may I?
Yeah, well, she could be like, may I?
I mean, her dad is on trial for murder. I doubt she's like...
Yeah. See,
though I think she is usually bubbly, so...
Yeah, I'm going to take Dark Data's direction and say curious. It's probably curious. And there's no reason to make her British, but I feel like I want to.
I mean, ultimately, that's the direction you want to go.
Yeah. I won't. May I?
Oh. My controller, and all that time, at some point, I guess it decided to...
That was it? Oh, the controller didn't want that one? Okay, let me try another one.
No, it's fine.
May I?
No. Huh? What?
Hello, sir. Please, pick a card. No, just kidding.
We can't not have a British here.
We'll have one eventually, I'm sure. Hello, sir. Please, pick a card.
What's all this about? Is this one okay? No, any card but that.
Excellent. I have a message for you. The last hand is about to be played. You'll need a trump card to make it.
That's the name of the case.
A
A trump card? Do you mean a wild card?
The card you've chosen is magical. Use it wisely. And the game is yours. That's all.
Actually, so you're not tampered with evidence. I don't know if this is tampering. This is investigating. And at this point, it's not evidence because of evidence law.
Yeah, it was taken before it was a crime scene. So
Well, no, I mean, because we established what evidence law was in case 1-5 with Damon Gant. And evidence law, like, for anything to be considered legal evidence, it has to be approved by the police station and it has to be proven relevant to the case. And this hasn't had either yet. Well, we'll probably quickly could prove relevance, but it also has to be approved.
yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. We gotta prove relevance to the court, and then the police is gonna accept.
I mean, in theory, I don't think they're going to go into evidence law again. So,
yeah.
an ace. Where do I remember that card from? Mr. Smith's hand had 3 aces and Mr. Wright's 2. It is 5 aces in all. It is true. I have seen it. The 5th ace. There was cheating, I swear to you.
There was cheating because I have done the cheating.
The missing 5th ace? Wait, that blotch of red. Is this blood? And why does it say volume 8 on it? Now that's what I call blood, volume 8.
Well, your hit singles like "Don't Go Blooding My Heart," "My Bloody Valentine." I should have started with that one because that's actually like an actual. You have your trump card. Now it's up to you to cut the deck and draw the truth. My father's fate is in your hands. I know you can do it. For a second there, I thought she had a Yu-Gi-Oh! Like the dual glove thing.
Oh god, it was from after I watched, but I know what that is.
Yeah. It's not the dual disc. Is it called a dual disc? I think it is.
I think it is a dual disc.
Yeah. When I think of dual disc, I think of the dumb one that was like a yo-yo that they had to like throw out, and then they like whipped them back and then put the cards in and then threw it back out. I don't know if it's past your time, but like I watched Yu-Gi-Oh for a very long time.
Do you remember Dungeon Dice Monsters? I have Dungeon Dice Monsters somewhere.
Oh, I love the idea of Dungeon Dice Monsters.
I have like the starter set somewhere in a box put away.
Man,
I thought it was. I thought they were gonna veer harder into that, and it was interesting to me. So.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, I wish it was like the TV show where like you could like press on the die and then like it like popped open with the path that you could like arrange on the board.
I mean, I wish the card game was like a TV show where like it summoned holograms and they are capable of like destroying
and then if
things in the real world.
You died.
Yeah, that's the best part.
You've been playing too much Persona 3 Reload. Like everything is a death game now.
I mean, everything already was.
It's always been.
Eventually,
all the way down, death games. No, I like. Yeah, I mean, we weirdly enough now have the technology to do that with all the VR devices, like, and AR devices. You know, that we could totally do like like that kind of Yu-Gi-Oh games.
Yeah,
but,
if Konami had the budget and cared more about that than like Pachinko.
Yeah.
This bloodstained
mini figures make brain go burr.
This bloodstained card is my trump card for finding the truth. I fell deep into thought as my mind raced to understand what this all meant. That girl. I'd seen her recently, but where? That's when I made the connection. It can't be the girl in the locket. They had different colored clothes.
That's what I was going to say. Is there like a relevance that I forgot as to why she's wearing pink in that photo, but like blue in this one?
Because people don't wear the same clothes for their entire life.
Don't start with me. You know what I mean.
She was younger in that.
She was wearing the same outfit, just in pink. Is that what you did growing up? You wore the same outfit, just like in a different color, like scheme.
You make fun, but I was the type of person when I got new shoes, I got new glasses, it would be almost identical to my old one because I did not like change.
Fair.
So, and I was worried that I wouldn't like it then if I knew what I liked and I didn't know what I didn't like. And those.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was selected by player 2 for the photo. Somebody already picked them, so they had to do a color and alt so they wouldn't get it mixed up.
It's just Smash Brothers. You have like 8 colors for everybody, and sometimes they're just alternate skins too.
Yeah, Echo Fighter. It's Maya Faye's Trucy's Echo Fighter.
Oh, that'd be a bad Echo Fighter because Trucy needs to use magic and panties.
And panties?
Oh God, I'm glad you forgot that.
No, I remember that we engaged discourse with her underpants at some point, but like I didn't realize that was such an iconic part of the character that
it's a key character trait of her. Unfortunately.
Yeah, Dark Data. We'll get to it.
We'll get to it. Unfortunately.
Yeah, like I'm surprised we can play this game on Twitch.
Court will now reconvene. Defense Attorney Christoph Gavin, will you please take the stand? Now then, if you would, Mr. Payne.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. Will Mr. The witness state his name and occupation?
That was like a long time. I want to see. Oh, we don't have Trucy. I was curious how old she was. I think she's like 16, but I don't remember.
I was gonna say I think she was 14 in the picture.
21, 61, unknown,
Ooh.
33, 32. I really wish they would say how old the judge is in these games, because we've had the same judge for like 20 years in game, and he's looked identical.
It's an eldritch being of unknown might and power. Is this fuss necessary, Your Honor?
Believe me, far stranger things have gone on in this courtroom. Remember when the defendant there brought in a bird to talk to?
Oh, I remember. Pepperidge Farms remembers. Is this the trilogy where we're gonna have to cross-examine a whale?
Spoilers.
Like I vaguely remember that's a thing. I don't know if we've done it already or we're gonna do it.
It's a DLC a DLC case for the second or for the 5th game. I think the one after this.
Oh, okay. So we'll probably get to it.
I'm assuming the DLC cases are in this game, which there's one for 5, one for 6. There's not one for 4 because it was a DS game.
Yeah. This one being 4, right?
Yeah.
Fine, I'll play along.
First, there's one thing we need to have made clear. How did you know about the secret beneath the victim's hat?
By secret, I'm guessing he means the fact that Mr. Spoof was bald. I didn't know that was a secret, Your Honor. The judge is a metaphysical construct of pure law.
Yeah.
A slightly idiotic construct, but one nonetheless. Listen, I mean, summoning spells are only so powerful. You have to pick which stats it's gonna have. It has a 4 and int.
Forgive my curiosity, but what is it about this fellow's hand? Yeah, it's from the world of Mechanus, from the Forgotten Realms universes. It's the realm of neutral law, lawful neutral. He's just a citizen from that realm.
I guess.
Your Honor seems to have an inordinate interest in it. Whoa. Excuse me. Was that Phoenix that said objection?
Yeah.
That's Phoenix's voice?
Yeah. I think it's the same one he.
Nubile.
No, I think it's just the same objection sound effect that they always used for other ones.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's the same that Apollo would use.
No, I think it's the same one from the original trilogy.
Oh, so you're supposed to hear it and be like, oh, call
Be
back.
like, Phoenix Wright is in this game?
Papa. Man,
You didn't read
I
the
got
line yet.
I know it's just like looking at Phoenix Wright just makes me very like it's a very cool name core emotion that's coursing through me right now. I wouldn't call it inordinate, Mr. Gavin.
I do like they have Phoenix's theme finally. Which they didn't have yet in this case.
It's very good. It's very
But
good.
also, like, who let the defendant onto the stand? Like, into the defense side?
Yeah, he definitely shouldn't be here.
Mr. Wright.
What do you think you're doing, right? Wow, things sure look different from the other side. Know what I mean, Apollo? Speaking of looking from the other side, let's consider something for a second. The victim wore that hat all night, and everyone's taking it off except for that one time.
That one time, being the instant he was hit. He took it off so he could be hit and then put it back on.
Suddenly you're muted.
Oh, I'm muted for you?
Yeah, it says you're muted on Twitch too, so it's not.
Let me try.
I can't hear you yet, no.
How about now? Oh, wait. How about now? Hello?
Yeah, no, sometimes
Do you hear me now?
it mutes between us. I can't hear you.
You still can't hear me.
Oh, I can hear you now.
Oh, okay, weird.
Yeah, I don't know. And it still says you're muted on Twitch for me, even though I can hear you. That's what I'm saying. It's so bizarre.
On Twitch it says I'm muted?
Yeah.
Oh, you probably hear me through... I forgot, I'm not muted in Discord.
Yo, yeah, I am currently hearing you through Discord. I have the members hidden, so I have more room to see the game. But I could, yeah, you're talking to me on Discord, and I'm talking to
You don't
the
hear me
viewers on
double,
Twitch.
right?
No.
I wonder though why you... Do you have me muted on... Like, you don't have me muted on...
No, I don't have you
Twitch,
muted on
right?
either, but I'm muted on Discord, and you're muted on Twitch.
Weird.
And then vice versa is the same.
Okay, well let me
like,
know
I'm
if
not
I
muted on
get doubled
Twitch.
at some point, or if I disappear again.
Yeah, I mean, if you're doubled, then it's just like biblically accurate ChatGPT, and I'm already trained not to be afraid, so it's fine.
Oh,
What?
Yeah, it's just the voice of the judge, just doubled.
Well, Mr. Wright returned from... When Mr. Wright returned from reporting the crime, the hat was lying on the floor. Mr. Wright picked it up and placed it on the victim's head. In other words, in order to have seen Mr. Smith's bald head, you would have had to have been there in the hideout. Spelled with a Y, at the time of the crime.
It's like cognitive science. In other words, I must be the real killer. Is that what you're trying to say? Not bad, Apollo.
He's doing the anime glasses thing.
Mr. Gavin, why are you doing the anime glasses thing?
I'm afraid I haven't been entirely honest with the court.
You could be disbarred for that.
For doing the anime glasses thing?
No, for being lying in court as an attorney.
Yeah. What? Oh, I showed you. I had the noblest of intentions.
That's still perjury, no matter your intentions.
I did it all to protect my client, Mr. Wright.
Thanks, Dark Data. I did see that you could hear me. As long as I'm paying attention, I could tell, and usually tell on Streamlabs that my volume thing's going up, though I do appreciate you confirming. Just in case something weird is happening.
Yes, I'm afraid in the current situation I see little reason to hide anything. Very well, allow me to tell you the truth of what happened that night.
Finally, you may begin your testimony. God, this case is taking too long. Tell us, how were you involved in the events of that fateful night?
The rage I sensed in that man that night troubled me, so I returned to the club. I went down to the basement and peeked in through the little window to the hideout. It must have been right after the murder took place. The victim was dead as he appears in the photo. A bald-headed, unconscious girl on right holding a bottle in its hand. I sensed that was not the best place for me to be at the time, so I left. Everything okay? What happened? Okay. That's when the call came from Wright. Somebody yelled in the house, so I want to make sure everything was okay.
So you witnessed the murder?
For better or worse, I missed the actual moment of the deed.
Mr. Wright, please, may I remind you that you're on Mr. Gavin, may I remind you that you're on Mr. Wright's defense team. Your testimony is clearly disadvantageous to your client. You're being a pretty shitty lawyer.
What else could I say? I'm standing on the witness's stand after all. So you are Mr. Gavin. And you had to testify as you just did. You had to tell them you saw the scene of the crime through that little window.
Mr. Wright?
You had to say that. Because that was the only probable window of opportunity. Right, Apollo?
Oh!
Mr. Wright, the defense should do the cross-examination, not the defendant. Mr. Justice, are you prepared?
Yes, Your Honor. I can't believe I'm going up against Mr. Gavin. This trial is getting weirder and weirder.
Yeah, I feel like this wouldn't happen, right? It's like I feel like they would have to appoint Gavin another defense attorney.
I mean, he's not the
because it's a conflict
defendant.
of interest.
He's not the defendant, so he doesn't need a defense attorney. He's a witness right now.
Yeah, you're right. Because like ultimately, even if he admits to doing anything in this case, he will still need to stand trial.
He will, though. If he straight out admits it, that's going to be some pretty hard evidence against him. If he admits it under oath.
Yeah.
But this isn't his trial, so he's just a witness. But I still think there's a conflict of interest, but I don't know how. In real life, I feel like you would I'm not a lawyer, I don't know for sure, but I feel like you probably would have to suspend the trial and get a new defense attorney that doesn't have any sort of relation to the witness, which would take a while. But in Ace Attorney universe, they have to for law reasons, a trial cannot go longer than 3 days, and so they realistically probably couldn't do that anyways. That man, you mean Mr. Smith?
He was different from the other customers, his aura, shall we say. I knew he was a serious poker player, but there was more than that.
So then you knew the true nature of your client's job?
Of course, but I also knew he wasn't engaged in gambling, which would be illegal.
Well, it makes sense that he'd know. They were friends after all.
Wait for my friend. I return to the club. You see, I feared that Mr. Smith might be someone coming to settle an old score.
I see. What happened then?
The little window. You mean the one used to watch up the stair? You mean the one you used to keep watch up the stairs?
Yes, a relic of an ancient past the Black Marketers used there, I believe.
Why did you go through the trouble of peeking in through the window? Wouldn't it have been easier to just open the door and go into the room?
I didn't want to upset Wright, you see.
Upset Mr. Wright?
Yes, what if my fears had been unfounded? I'd be walking in on the match, bad form to say the least.
So far, everything he's saying makes sense. How do you know it was right after the murder?
Really? No need to shout, Justice. I was just getting to that part of my testimony. Ah, there he is, the coolest defense in the West we know and love. Even when you're standing there on the witness stand, some things never change. I was afraid you'd change too, right? But you haven't. You and that overbearing personality of yours.
With friends like these, who needs enemies? Am I right? By photo, you mean the second photograph of the crime scene.
By crime scene, you mean the place that the crime was committed. Precisely, you see, he wasn't wearing his hat then. I saw his head, but then he was dead.
Holy shit, he's the Avatar! I know we made that joke last time, but...
We did make that. Justice, you've made that joke last time.
No, I think you did.
Oh, did I?
And then Mr. Wright came along and replaced his hat.
And then Mr. Wright came and said the same joke.
Can you describe the scene of the crime for us?
Jeez, this is 7 parts, this testimony. This is insane. Usually 6 is like the longest they get. And usually they're like 4 or 5.
Is it the last one for this case, do you know?
It's either last or second to last, I'm not sure. Those are the only 3 at the scene of the crime.
Yes, as far as I saw, at least.
Then we're back where we started. The killer was the defendant Phoenix Wright. Who else could it have been? But why didn't you talk to the police?
2 reasons. But first, I didn't actually witness the very moment of the crime. Second, my office was asked to defend Mr. Wright. Even after seeing what I had seen, I couldn't abandon my friend.
There must have been someone else there at the moment of the crime.
Justice, I just said that I saw no one, not a soul.
But that goes against what Mr. Wright said.
Yes, this mysterious 4th person. Who would conveniently be the real killer, I suppose. Glad to see we agree, Mr. Gavin. Let me pose the question then. Tell me, what possible reason did the real killer have to swap the cards in the victim's hands? Perhaps you can show us a reason why such a thing would be necessary?
How can I show something I can't find myself?
Remember, Apollo, the card that was swapped out was the 5th ace.
The 5th ace, right.
Well, Mr. Justice, the real question of why the killer would swap out a card has been raised.
I just realized I don't think we actually looked at this. We didn't. A single drop of blood marks the front of this card. Oh, cool. That's it.
Can you point to a reason?
Reason why what?
Why the card was swapped?
Oh, can we? Can we?
Yeah, the fact that there's a blood drop on it.
It's now or never. The defense would like to present evidence to the court. Evidence showing the reason why a card was swapped out.
Now go ahead and point out your reason, Mr. Justice.
Jake Darkday's about to say it's going to be Borscht on the card.
Why did the killer take the 5th ace?
My reason is, this.
Is that an ace?
Why, it's got blood on it. Defense, this is illegal evidence that hasn't been examined yet. Right next to the spade.
What? This is insane. Why wasn't I told about this? Why?
Could this be the missing 5th ace? If so, this is definitely illegal evidence. That was removed from the scene.
Inconceivable! Inconceivable!
Inconceivable, how could you? What are you doing with that card?
Well, that's the thing. Why is Mr. Gavin so upset that I'm accusing him of murder? It's just a fishy card from some fishy girl.
Oh, that card? It's mine. That is, I picked it up at the Borscht Bowl Club that night after the murder had occurred. I gave it to my daughter. Cards are her stock and trade, after all.
So you just give her bloody cards from crime scenes? That's not a really responsible dad. That's a very cool dad.
I'm not a regular dad, I'm a cool dad. No, impossible! Unacceptable!
Okay, lemon grab.
I could do a lemon grab, but that's going to destroy all our viewers' ears.
I'm more concerned about your vocal cords, but...
Yeah, it would. I mean, I've already given up on my vocal cords. The courts can't accept this evidence. It's a fraud. A fraud? How can you be so sure? What? I would think the only person who could claim it was a fraud would be the one who took the real card from the crime scene. The real killer. Allow me to elaborate. What if this trace of blood was the reason?
The reason for
For the killer to take the car from the scene of the crime.
Where are you going with this?
Take another look at the photo, and at the victim's head. At the moment of the crime, his head fell to the floor, and a trickle of blood ran from his forehead down to the back of his head.
Oh, that's blood.
Yeah, what did you think it was?
An Avatar hero, I said that!
Did you really forget for
yeah.
playing this?
I did forget, I thought it was like a tattoo or something.
Like a tattoo or something? No, that's fair. I remembered. That's
Like
why
a
that's why I
Yakuza.
joked that it was... Fake Yakuza. You know, Yakuza's tattooing their foreheads. Could a drop of that blood have fallen on one of the cards?
I suppose.
The killer then took the card to hide the blood. Regardless, that evidence is not permissible. Oh? Right, regardless of how you faced the last 7 years, you used to be a lawyer. You know what a serious crime It is to conceal evidence. Oh, we can discuss the finer point of our legal system later. What's important now is that I've answered your question. What are you talking about? You wanted to know why the killer would have taken the car from the crime scene. And now I've told you. That one drop of blood would have been decisive evidence, you see. This is baseless conjecture! Baseless! Oh, I assure you, it's quite based.
Wow, it invented the slang.
Damn. Damn. Christoph, you're cringe! What? I'm cringe? No, I've only posted the dinkers of memes on the Discord server. No, you are cringe.
It's, which Pain is just like, hey, I got a lot of Riz though.
The judge is like, I've been known to have been called Chuki from time to time.
Isn't that bad?
Yeah, no, that's the point. The judge doesn't know. It's amazing, really, how a single drop of blood on a single card can lead us to the truth. It's quite simple. Well, Apollo,
Yes?
try picturing the scene of the crime. In your head.
In my head?
In your head.
In my head?
Yes, in your head, Apollo.
In my head?
Can I get another defense attorney? I think this was broken. While we wait, the murder took place in the hideout. The body of the luckless victim was found at the poker table, and before the killer swapped the card out, there was a single card with a drop of blood in the victim's hand. Given this, there is one decisive problem with the scene.
Well, what is it?
Let's keep it simple, shall we? Given that there was a drop of blood on the card, whose position in this diagram doesn't fit? The victim, the killers, the witnesses, the second witnesses, the Porsche.
Which one?
Boom, 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 boom.
Which
If
one?
I remember correctly, I think it was the person.
Oh, I didn't mean to. Frick.
Who did you pick?
I was trying to open history, and it's in a random spot. It's not even a person.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say. I thought it was the person watching through the window.
I don't think I was even on the floor plan.
Oops, I just gave you a penalty. Hand must have slipped.
Wait, did it say? Well, my hand must have slipped. Is what Paul said. Basically, my hand slipped.
Basically, your hand did slip.
Okay. Well, there goes our perfect win record. Okay. So, given there's a drop blood on the card, whose position in the diagram doesn't fit? Okay.
Who would it be?
There's no B. There's a V, a W, a K, and a 2.
I guess would it be the victims? Is that what we're trying to do right now? Because if the victim was exactly how the photo says, and the card had blood on it, then the victim's blood would be dripping down his face, not up his face. So I think it's the victim right now. But there might be like a second option when that's gonna be 2 maybe later. I vaguely remember 2 being a thing you have to pick, but I think it's V.
Well, isn't it the victim's position that's the problem?
I don't follow your logic here, Mr. Justice.
Well, look, the victim was struck in the head, spinning him back in the chair. You'd think any blood would fall behind the body, not onto the table in front of him.
Ah,
Take a look at the photo again. If he bled in this position, then he wouldn't win. The blood would fall on the floor, not on the cards.
why, that's right. So what does this mean?
What does it mean? Incidentally, we were sitting in swivel chairs.
Swivel chairs?
Yes. All the swivel
Oh
chairs.
man! I love those! Oh, what do you say?
Apollo, try turning that chair around.
Try swiveling it? It's the best part. How do I...
Yeah, try swiveling
What
it.
do you mean
Apollo.
recreate it? Like,
Swivel the chair.
click it?
Yeah, click it, swivel. Yeah.
There's no swivel button!
Grab it
point.
and swivel.
There's no grab button. There's point out. Do I point out?
Point out and swivel.
Oh, why does it say point out?
The chair was facing the other way.
It would have to be.
It would have to be.
So we have to assume that at the time of the murder, the victim's chair is facing away from the table.
Mr. Wright returned from informing the police. Which way was the chair facing?
When I came back to the room, the body was facing as seen in this photo.
That would mean the killer turned the chair back around. Or maybe the victim. I don't know.
Let's take the next step. Is that what it says? I took my glasses off for a second to rub my
Yes.
eyes. Look at the diagram once more.
Look at the diagram once more.
Every time I see it, I'm filled with scorn.
That doesn't rhyme.
Listen, I was gonna say something completely different. We now know the victim was facing away from the table at the time of the murder. But this created another significant contradiction.
Again?
Let's test your reasoning skills again, shall we? Apollo, whose locations in this diagram contradict our new understanding of the crime? The victim, the killer, the witnesses, the second witnesses? Whose location creates a contradiction? The killer's, because
The killers?
it would have to be, right? Because how would you be able to bonk if you're facing away from me?
Oh, I can bonk from any direction.
Omnidirectional bonking! Pog!
The victim was struck from the front, correct?
Yep, indeed.
Well, wouldn't it
hard
be-
for the killer to?
Well, wouldn't it
Oh,
be
that's-
hard for the killer to hit him from the front? I know, I was reading your mind right there, wasn't I?
I couldn't have said it better myself, Apollo.
Sitting where his indicator currently is?
His indicator. I think it would be quite hard, yes.
Yes, but what you're saying makes no sense. Why would the victim suddenly turn to face the wall in the middle of a game?
I believe a sufficient reason will soon come to light.
What?
There's something in this diagram that makes far less sense, actually. Look again at the diagram. Apollo, the victim was struck while he was sitting, as shown here. Where would his assailant be standing? Try marking it on the diagram.
What? But there's no room to put a mark where the killer should be. Clearly, they were on his lap.
Ooh, sexy. Mitsurugi, get out of here. Don't worry, let's think it through and see what we can find. We know the victim was facing towards the wall at the time of the crime. The only thing we know, that's the only thing we know for sure. Try to forget about everything else. It's Spider-Man. Where would the killer have to be?
I mean, here.
Yeah. In the bookshelf, yeah. In the armoire.
The killer had to be standing, well, here. Actually face to the wall. There's no clip.
No clip. He had God mode enabled. Wow. Big Pog Chungus moment. Yep. God mode enabled. Hacks.
Oh, it must have been
Cringe
salmonella.
No, Salmonella was the true internet boy. He was speaking like that before everybody else.
Hydrate.
As you can see, the victim died of a ligma.
No.
Ligma? What's that?
Uh, you get points. You get points for flair, but this is about all you get.
Wow, he suddenly sounds smooth. Is that for cool name?
Yeah, because that's for cool name's sake. Yeah.
Ugh. I thought I was onto something there too.
I hardly need to point out that standing there would be impossible.
The victim is facing a solid cupboard! Or are you claiming the killer climbed the cupboard and hit him from above? Ha!
He hit the high ground.
It's simple logic, really. If this was the only place the killer could have been standing, then that means that at the very moment of the crime...
Wait, I know, pick me. I know the answer.
Apollo, please. Apollo, please.
At the moment of the crime, the cupboard wasn't there.
Yes, Apollo. Yes.
What's this now?
I mean, that's the only explanation, right, Mr. Gavin? Your Honor, I have a suggestion for the defense. We should arrange to examine the cupboard in the hideout immediately.
Immediately?
Bailiff, send a team to the crime scene immediately.
Immediately?
Have them try to move the cupboard.
Yes, immediately, Apollo. Please, enough. Your Honor?
What?
There's one more thing your men should look for. Please give this to the bailiff.
Yes. I see. You do belong in the courtroom after all, Mr. Wright.
I'm not going to tell you what I read. I do my best.
Well, I didn't read it. You didn't ask me to read it. It's not my business.
I can see the judge not reading it. It's like, you told me to give it to the bailiff. I don't know what you told him. Could have been just a note to destroy evidence, but I didn't read it.
Listen, I trust the bailiff. He's my lover.
The bailiff is Salmonella.
So I said, he's my lover.
No, statistically speaking, it would have to be the future version of what was her name from Ace Attorney?
Her name from Ace Attorney? Great Ace Attorney?
Ace Attorney.
There's a lot of...
Sakura
Suzato?
Suzato. Susato's dad.
Why Susato's dad?
Because wasn't Susato's dad and the judge implied to have been like good friends, and we made the joke that they were lovers.
Yeah, but Susato's dad and Dr. John H. Wilson were also good friends, so I don't know.
They were all roommates.
Polycule.
Made my ponytail fall out. But let's forge ahead while we wait here. Look at the diagram once again. It's been changed.
To try the pierogi. Man, I was thinking the other day, I haven't had pierogies, I feel like, in years.
Oh, we have pierogies very often. My partner loves pierogies.
Pierogies are great, but like, I kind of just have what I get from HelloFresh. Plus,
Yeah,
I feel like
at my
pierogies
local-
aren't particularly healthy.
They're not. At my local farmer's market, we get these like buffalo chicken stuffed pierogies.
Huh.
They have tons of different kinds, but that's our favorite.
I just usually
like-
would go with the standard, like, I don't know, cheese and chives and
potato.
whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, they have like loaded potato ones with like bacon and like cheddar cheese and
do they have ones that has smaller pierogies inside?
no, but that's very funny, and I should definitely do that. What flavor is buffalo? Dark Data.
Oh, Dark Data, I don't think it's from the States. Buffalo sauce is a spicy sauce,
yeah, it's
that
if you
usually on chicken wings.
yeah, if you think of chicken wings, yeah. There's a sauce. It's a mild spice that's more
Okay.
vinegary than spicy, if it makes any sense.
Yeah, you can describe it better than me, I guess. Though the
We have a lot of buffalo sauce here.
the amount of heat does vary a lot.
Yeah, it's
And-
not intended to be super spicy. It is spicy, but like it's meant more, like I said, it's like a salty, vinegary flavor with spice.
Yeah, it's usually a chicken wing thing. made
It's
from
no,
real
it's not made from, it's not made from buffalo. This cool name. Do you not know what buffalo sauce is? I thought
Cool
cool name
name's-
was from the States.
Cool Name's from Canada, but I'm pretty sure Cool Name knows and is just joking.
Yeah, cool. They would have to have buffalo sauce in Canada.
I mean, if you ever get the chance, Dark Data, it's worth trying. It probably doesn't sound as appetizing as it is. Like, it's not one of my favorite things, but it's also it's just super common around here.
Yeah, not to dox yourself
Yeah,
as American. Is it made from people who are from Buffalo? I think statistically
that's the
speaking,
secret.
it is, but we can't. Yeah, we can't talk about it on Twitch.
it used to be called Soylent Buffalo.
It used to be called Syracuse sauce, but then they ran out of people in Syracuse.
Oh no.
At least it's not Quebecois sauce. I feel like
But-
Quebecois sauce is just like very pretentious.
But usually with buffalo sauce, traditionally you have it dipping the wings in blue cheese.
Yeah, like the
Or-
wings are coated in the buffalo sauce, and then you dip the wings in blue cheese.
Or if you're a heathen like me, use ranch dressing. But like,
Yeah, like I feel like we use ranch dressing and blue cheese interchangeably.
most people, a lot of people will find that like offensive to use ranch, but
Yeah,
like
yeah, like people
I-
are like
blue-
usually like a blue cheese or like a ranch people.
blue
Like,
cheese though like actually makes me sick. So
Yeah, I like blue cheese. I recognize that it has mold, but you know, whatever.
no, it's just the pungent taste. The smell already makes me look queasy, but like I feel nauseous when I've consumed blue cheese.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I love stinky cheeses. Like the stinkier the cheese,
Oh,
the better.
I
Like,
mean
I've
that's
not
an
had cheese that I
exception.
don't like.
I've outside of blue cheese, I've not had any other cheese I don't like, and I've had stinky cheeses too. It's literally just blue cheese. So,
I say that.
well, also I
Did I
think
say
gorgonzola, but that's basically blue cheese. I think.
I think so, but like I definitely do not want that cheese that is like has maggots in it.
Oh
You know
no,
what
I mean if it's moving, I'm a little less.
yeah.
You like mild cheese Dark Data? I actually really recently discovered baby Swiss cheese, and I've gotten obsessed with it for sandwiches.
Yeah, baby Swiss. We get baby Swiss as our sliced cheese option.
Yeah, I mean, I always kind of liked Swiss on a sandwich, but I always felt it was just a tiny bit too like hard and like sharp. But
Yeah.
like baby Swiss seems like currently for me, it's like my obsession for sandwiches. So.
Yeah, I vacillate between Munster, pepper jack, and Swiss. And within Swiss, sometimes I do baby Swiss. But it's like those three.
Well, I mean, I'm
know.
usually a provolone kind of person, but like,
I like provolone, but
I like Munster.
um,
I like
yeah.
sometimes I get Havarti if I want to mix it up.
ooh, Havarti.
Sometimes I'll get like Colby Jack. If I am feeling spicy, I will get pepper jack, but I really have to
Yeah.
be in the mood, so it's hard for me to like predict that I'm going to be in the mood long enough to go through a package of it.
Yeah. if the killer was standing here at the time of the crime, then this cupboard wasn't there here, which means
Yeah, Coolness isn't all cheese mold. I mean, I get technically, kinda. Is it mold?
it's controlled fermentation.
Yeah,
So yes, I guess in a weird way.
but like, there is moldy cheese, like blue cheese that actually
Yeah.
has a mold growing on it. And I do all the Swiss cheese mothers.
Apollo, try moving the cupboard.
How? All I can
can't
do is
move.
point out.
It's a
Is
diagram.
this one the cut? I think it's this one.
Yeah, this is a visual aid for the player. This is not. Thank you. Ooh. As you can see, the cupboard was the problem at the time of the murder. It has to have been as shown here. Now everything's in place to reconstruct the moment of the crime. Oh my. What's this?
Well, what is it now?
Look at the diagram of the crime scene once more. It appears we've yet found another contradiction, Apollo boy. What I believe to be the final contradiction, in fact.
But this is a static image that we're looking at.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That
I
we've
don't like.
changed how the image looked.
We've created alternate timelines to just and traveled through them just for the sake of this one case.
Huh? Oh, dang!
Oh dang! Notice something, Apollo? Our line of deduction is rapidly approaching its logical conclusion.
Now then, Mr. Justice, please point to the new contradiction indicator. Is it the victim, the killer, the witness, the second witness? Which indicator in the diagram contradicts what we know about the crime?
2.
I love how they say the witness and then the second witness. Like, I'd say like
who's the second
the
witness
first
in this
witness.
picture?
I'd say the first witness. This is the second witness.
Oh, the killer, the victim, the witness, the second witness.
But I would say the first witness then, and then the second witness, not the witness and the second witness.
Yeah. It's the second witness.
Can you see where the contradiction is? If you
The
do,
second
shout
witness, the second witness.
objection.
The objection's the second witness.
Why can't we get a like Dora the Explorer, but instead of teaching kids Spanish, it teaches kids law?
Law. Do you want to pass the El Bar exam with me? Vámonos.
Well, not speaking Spanish. Speaking
she
like
still speaks
Latin.
Spanish.
No, speaking Latin.
Lorem ipsum. Scala et caelum.
About this cupboard. Are we all okay with assuming it was moved?
Habeas corpus. Sure, why not?
Well, if it was, something really doesn't fit.
Pro bono.
The cupboard would completely cover up the window to the stairs.
Ah!
He forgot that he just,
Yeah, I was
the
gonna
judge
say-
just disassociated for a solid 5 seconds.
Very convincing, Judge. Very convincing. I definitely can tell you're not having some extramarital troubles that are causing you to disassociate while at work.
He just suddenly realized, wait, when did I last age?
Yeah. Ah!
How am I alive? What's going on?
Scream was. It wasn't even about the case. That's just like his existential crisis.
Am I gonna ever die? Am I immortal?
Do I want to live forever?
Is this my fate forever, every day, just coming in here and just listening to this incessant babbling? That's right.
See,
Somebody standing outside wouldn't be able to see in. See what?
well, Cool Name wasn't here when I was doing all my Canadian Phoenix Wright references, but They're pointing out that Phoenix is wearing a tuki. I told you.
Oh, is that how you spell it?
Yeah, that's how you spell tuki. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not a beanie, it's a tuki. Yeah, he hid the card in his double and then he put the double in his tuki. And ShadJB was like, "What's a tuki?" I'm like, "It's a hat."
You can't put coffee in. I think you're saying it wrong. You
Well, why
offended
is it
Cooley.
pronounced toke? I've always heard it called the tuki.
I think it's Tokyo.
Tukwa. For all my friends.
Someone
Canadians out
like
there.
Mr. Gavin.
What did you say?
How do you say a cool name? The only way
wait.
I've ever heard it said is Tuki.
I think it's pronounced Beanie.
Beanie. Yeah, at this point, it's just pronounced Beanie. Oh, it's the coolest defense in the West. Losing his cool. I'm losing my cool nail over here.
But by the
Starting to
way,
bleed.
that pin he has on his hat just reminds me of like the things like people pick up at like cons and just put on their
Yeah.
backpack, like
100%.
that, or The World Ends with You, which also had pins like that.
It also did have pins. You're right.
Oh, this is you. This is you.
Don't expect me to play along with your little game, right? It's only a game until someone gets killed, Mr. Gavin.
Dude, it's hilarious.
Tatook.
Took for the ooh.
You
It's
have to
took.
extend
Okay,
the O.
it's took ooh.
Took. Cool name. You're gonna lose with ShadJB. You can't play this game. I'll at least try. ShadJB just is gonna go out of his way to be worse about it. That's what I'm saying.
No, I'm sorry.
You can't.
I'm sorry. Took ooh.
Ooh. You gotta be a ghost halfway through, but then you gotta come back. You gotta remember to rematerialize into the corporeal.
Okay. I'll take it serious. You mean the O is in the center? It's took.
You're such a jerk.
I'm not a jerk.
Dude. Why would you say it like that?
Because of the capitals and the lowercase and then the capitals.
Ah!
Okay, took. Sorry.
It's and someone was, while the window through that room was blocked by a cupboard. Is this Apollo Justice's theme? I'm barely hearing it.
You can't hear the music?
No, I'm hearing it, but like, it's like, how is it his theme?
I don't know. What's not mad?
So, Mr. Gavin, perhaps you'd like to explain to the court.
Toke.
Oh, toke. It's pronounced toke.
Okay. So none of us were right. At any point.
At any point. How did we get it so wrong?
I
Where
you know,
did you...
I almost jorked. I almost, I almost joked.
I almost jorked to sort.
I almost-
the Swedish band, the Swedish chef, or the store.
I almost joked to say torque, and I would have actually been closer than anything we said if I said torque.
I googled it. Google said toke.
Toke.
Google said toke.
Okay, Google's wrong then. Are you searching Canadian Google or American?
Canadian, yeah, sorry.
It's
Let me just
Google.ca.
www.google.ca. Maple syrup. What
Did you read this line?
Exactly. Where did you witness the crime scene from? That's not what it is saying. Am I saying it wrong? Oh, excuse me, Your Honor.
I love you too, cool name.
Order! This is a court of law and I will have order.
I guess you're the bailiff.
We just received a word from our investigative team at the Borscht Bowl Club. To examine the cupboard and the hideout, Your Honor.
Oh? What did they find?
Well, Your Honor, turns out there is a secret passageway.
What?
Toke.
Toke. Toke.
Toke.
Toke.
Toke.
Toke.
We're trying, cool name. We're trying.
Toke. Toke. Yes, yes, I believe I mentioned something of the sort before. This is one of the tricks to the room many of our regulars know about.
I do remember saying something about that. Now that he mentions it, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it.
This was a cool name.
No. I unless people. Oh, they're in the chat. Red guy, welcome.
Hello, Red Guy.
The fake Pokemon fact is I say a fake Pokemon fact. But if you're asking for one for Pikachu, then Pikachu actually was inspired by Mickey Mouse.
Steamboat Willie specifically?
No, Steamboat Willie specifically not. Every other Mickey Mouse.
Every other one, not Steamboat Willie.
If you overlaid every iteration of Mickey Mouse except for Steamboat Willie, it would look like Pikachu. There you go. You change the audio and text language from the title menu? Thank you. I don't think we need to.
Yeah, we're currently arguing about the pronunciation of the Canadian hat. Yeah, ways to pronounce toque.
Cool. I can't make a tier list of that.
Oh, he redeemed a tier list. I said it right. I said it right. Yeah, victory.
I don't know how to.
Ugh. Validation.
I'll have to figure out later how to refund that because I can't do a tier list of that.
It's just 3 hours of us just mispronunciating basic words.
I do remember saying something like that now that he mentions it.
Pikachu's long ears are from turning Mickey's ear sideways. That's why the Walt Disney Company has to always make sure that the ears are the same orientation when they animate it, because otherwise they would just look like Pikachu's ears, and then they would litigate. The Pokemon Company would litigate. A secret passageway is a handy thing to have when you're engaged in illegal goings-ons. You never know when you might need to duck away from the eyes of the law.
The room has a secret passage. Where does it go?
The other side connects to the restaurant above. The underworld bosses could get away from the cops and enjoy a cold bowl of borscht, no doubt. Yeah, I knew that. About about the hat. I'm not trying to say it again because I've said it right once. I'm not gonna curse myself trying to say it a second time. Just like our killer. You see our line of deductive reasoning. You see where our line of simple deductive reasoning has led us, Apollo?
I see it, but I don't believe it. That girl wasn't kidding when she said I need this trump card for the last hand. At the time of the murder, the window was blocked and the victim's hat was only off his head for a few minutes between Mr. Smith's murder and Mr. Wright's return from calling the cops. In other words, the only place that anyone could have seen the victim's bald head was from inside the hideout with a Y.
Whoa.
Well, Gavin, Mr. Gavin, come on, say something.
Dare I ask what really happened that night?
Actually, I think we could probably figure it out ourselves at this point. That night, for whatever reason, our killer had a date with Mr. Smith. A date with destiny.
Whoa.
There he crouched, hidden in the secret passage behind this cupboard, holding his breath, waiting for just the right moment. Then the chance came, and he took it. Eek!
It's very iconic, Eek.
That was you.
Why did I do that? Let me get help.
Why did you do that?
Why did you do that? Let me get to... Why did you do that? Wait, I'll get help.
Miss Olga O'Reilly was out cold, struck by Mr. Smith. But as time was soon to come, Mr. Wright went upstairs to call the cop, leaving Mr. Shady Smith alone in the hideout with the unconscious dealer. Then our killer stepped out from the secret passage and into the hideout. Into the hideout with a Y.
The victim must have heard the cupboard sliding aside. He wheeled his chair around and did something to look. Yeah, and after the deed was done, the criminal must have seen the blood on the card. He would have, of course, realized the need to destroy the evidence. That single drop of blood told the whole story of the crime.
Too bad for him, he didn't linger any longer in the hideout with a Y that night. If he had, he might have noticed the cards on the floor. And the fact that they were all red.
I wonder what it's going to be about.
Coolman's... Oh, the video you're saying?
Yeah, I can almost 100% guarantee I know what it's going to be about.
Well, it seems this trial has taken yet another turn. I'm truly, truly sorry I had to see this day come, Mr. Gavin.
Mr. Gavin?
Mr. Payne!
Yes, Your Honor?
The prosecution will continue its investigation. As for Mr. Phoenix Wright, the defendant, he is hereby cleared of all suspicion. Believe me when I say that I don't believe this is happening, Mr. Gavin.
Wait, this is a fairly realistic ending to a trial. We're not being like, oh, he did it. We're just like, oh, Wright's not... We're declaring him not guilty because he's not suspicious anymore, and we'll look into it further.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah. Did you not hear?
Ugh, no, I had my headphones off for a second.
Oh, I was saying this is a pretty realistic ending to a trial for once, where it's not... We didn't prove it was somebody else. We proved it wasn't Phoenix Wright, and he was cleared of suspicion. And they're gonna have to continue investigating now. Like,
Yeah.
for once, that's like what we're supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm afraid circumstances call for me to issue a warrant for your arrest immediately.
Oh, no need to apologize. I rather enjoy myself. It's not every day you get to witness a legendary attorney's dirty tactics firsthand. Your point, Mr. Gavin? Frankly, Your Honor, I'm shocked that a person of your caliber would be taken by such a low-grade parlor trick.
Excuse me?
The defendant is cleared of all suspicion. This is hardly the time for jokes, Your Honor. Mr. Wright hasn't proven anyone's guilt or innocence yet. What he has done is use illegal evidence to put the blame on someone else. Not just anyone else, but me, his own defense attorney.
Illegal evidence.
Let me ask you, Mr. Gavin. Is there still any reason at present to suspect me of wrongdoing? Of course. This bottle, for instance.
The bottle of grape juice Mr. Wright was drinking.
How do you intend to explain away the fingerprint on the murder weapon? And not just any fingerprint, am I right, Mr. Payne?
Actually, yes! The fingerprints on the bottle were upside down.
That's just how I drink. Seem to recall this being an issue earlier.
The court in this case demands an explanation. I can think of only one reason why one would hold the bottle upside down. And that is to hit someone with the bottom of the bottle. Well, Your Honor? Ah, see how the caught fish squirms to the left. Well, Apollo?
Yes?
Your boss seems awfully concerned about this bottle still. But I'm sure we can come up with a suitable explanation, just like that.
Yeah. Just like what?
Just like that.
Why would anyone grab a bottle upside down other than to gulp?
Don't let him trick you into thinking his explanation is the only legitimate one.
Is there really another?
Take a look at the court record. I believe you find a simple answer here, in plain sight.
How about you just say the answer in plain words?
I've always said that every time we play these games. When the characters know something, it's like, why make me say it if you already know? Just you say it.
It would be hasty to deliver a verdict with unanswered questions indeed. Well, Mr. Justice?
Mr. Gavin said the court and this case demand an explanation. Don't worry, justice won't leave until justice is done.
Perhaps the defense would care to enlighten the court. What evidence do you have to explain why the fingerprints on the bottle are upside down?
No worries, Coolnip. Dark Day said to pull the cork. I don't think it's that. Do you know what it is?
I remember it was to grab the bottle to drink because of the way he was sitting. Like, see, like in that picture, I think that's what you have to do.
So this
Show
picture?
that photo. I think so.
Look at this photograph. It's actually easier to show you than explain, Your Honor. Give me a bottle. And, turn around. Place that bottle on the floor next to your chair.
Excuse me, on the floor?
Yes, now reach down and pick it up. Without getting out of your chair.
Ah!
See? You naturally go to pick up the bottle by its neck. Like how you pick up a child. With your fingers upside down.
No! Please don't pick up a child that way.
Look at this photograph taken on the night of the murder. The defendant, Mr. Wright, sat here, playing piano, bottles of grape juice on the floor to the side of his piano bench. He would have naturally picked up the bottles upside down several times.
Wow, I can't believe that was that simple.
Recall our dinner that evening, Kristoff. I was drinking my usual juice then, too.
Basically, he used the bottle on the table to do the deed. But then he must have remembered. So he went and picked up one of the bottles from under the piano. And he switched the bottles. He took one of Mr. Wright's bottles and made it look like the murder weapon.
Order, order, order. What do you have to say to these charges, Mr. Gavin?
Fascinating. So this is the legendary attendant's famed tactic of misdirection.
What? Has this trial gone on long enough? It's a tutorial.
You claim I switched the bottom? Where's your proof?
Proof? Well, that's,
As I thought, more baseless conjecture. I'm afraid your bottle of proof is quite empty.
Okay, but now we're going back into the we don't need to prove it was you. We proved that there's no evidence against Phoenix.
I wouldn't be so sure about that. Your Honor, When you initiated the investigation of the hideout earlier, do you recall I requested an additional investigation?
Yes, I have your memo about that here, but I didn't read it. Retrieve the bottles from under the piano at the Borscht Bowl Club. And here's one of the bottles in question. We only got back one, even though you said to take all of them.
What? Are you going to dust that for fingerprints too? I'd be surprised if any were on but his.
Mr. Gavin probably wouldn't make such a novice mistake, true. That bottle won't bear a trace of anything. No worries, Dark Data. You have a good night.
Say, Apollo.
Yes?
Why don't you go ahead and examine that bottle?
But why?
Just humor me.
Mr. Wright, I don't like humor. Just so you know, we can hear something through your mic.
That bottle will solve this case once and for all.
What? That's some bottle. There's something inside the bottle. What's this?
That card, it can't be. Recall that unpleasant woman's testimony for a moment.
Miss Olga, really?
Yes, our little swindling Devochka.
That night I planted the card like I was supposed to. And Wright lost the hand just like he was supposed to. Then Smith searched him like he was supposed to. But then the planted card was gone like it wasn't supposed to. The trap failed.
Like it wasn't supposed to. This is you.
Oh, well, wait. This isn't. I thought I was right. Sorry. You're telling me that this is the planted card you disposed of? The one you mentioned in the piece of testimony?
I happened to put my hand in my pocket and I found a card. Yes, I snuck a peek at it and found it was a 5 of hearts. Had a feeling something might happen, so I disposed the card before the game.
Disposed where?
There was an empty bottle of juice I'd been drinking right beside me. I threw the card inside the bottle. The 5 of hearts. This is the card. Bottles were swapped. The only one who could have done that was the 4th person in the club that night. You, Mr. Christoph Gavin. The entire world. Oh. Lobster.
No, that probably killed it.
Did you want it dead?
Why would you want to kill a lobster?
Because you want to eat it.
You can eat
I
things
wouldn't wanna
alive.
eat it. I wouldn't want to eat it dead or alive. Beach volleyball.
Beach volleyball.
Yeah. That is all. Is this your idea of revenge, Phoenix Wright?
Revenge?
Revenge for the events that took away your attorney's badge 7 years ago.
Dude, he's not the one who killed somebody.
My past is like my logic, straight and true. Nothing's changed. All I did was point the finger of justice in the proper direction. Fine. I'm glad we could have this little tete-a-tete, right?
This is insane. What about me? Don't I get to prosecute anyone?
I believe this time we finally come to the end of our trial. Mr. Payne, do you have a report for us on Christoph Gavin?
He's admitted everything. We're processing his arrest now.
I see. Still, one has to wonder why he would do such a thing. He didn't even have a connection to the victim, did he?
None that we know of.
Mr. Wright, have you anything to add?
I'm afraid I can't shed any more light on the matter.
About this victim, Mr. Shady Smith. His occupation was listed as traveler, vagabond. Other words for traveler. An odd profession to be sure.
Octopath.
And that's all we know about him.
I'll arrange a follow-up investigation, Your Honor.
Good, Mr. Wright.
Yes?
7 years and you still haven't lost your touch.
Christoph Gavin was a man with much significance for me, both as a friend and a lawyer.
He was extremely talented, to be sure.
I needed 2 things before we could confront him. The first was a place where no injustice would be tolerated, this courtroom. The second was a man who could tolerate no injustice. In other words, a defense attorney. You, Apollo.
That's kind of funny because my last name's actually Apollo Injustice. Me?
Yeah, he just shortens it to Justice because he thinks that he wouldn't get enough jobs otherwise. This is a dark time for our legal system. A twisting of justice brought on by our very own initial trial system. We have to set it right.
Mr. Wright.
No, we have to set it right. I'm Phoenix Wright.
Phoenix Wright?
Yeah, Apollo, we have to set the justice system right.
Wait, you're the Phoenix Wright?
My work lies ahead of us. And I, for one, am looking forward to it.
Well, it seems like a good time to announce a verdict. The court finds the defendant, Mr. Phoenix Wright,
Wait, I'm almost here.
not guilty.
Okay, whoa, confetti. Yeah, made it just in time. Hey
Good.
guys, what I missed?
That's your only job now, so. Court is adjourned.
Okay, I'll go back now into the box. behind
Wait,
the
wait,
court.
before you leave.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your salary, you owe us $20.
Oh, okay, I'll pay it later. No instant noodles for you, Gumshoe.
Thanks, Apollo. You came through. He's kicking Gumshoe out of the room.
I'm pretty sure I didn't do a thing in there.
Yeah, you pressed A before I could finish the line because of the goof.
Oh, I thought you were gonna...
You came through just like I thought you would.
I'm pretty sure I didn't do a thing in there. It was you who
It was
cornered Mr. Gav, the killer.
You're allowed to call them by their name.
No,
I
he
just
lost
thought
the
by
rights to a
myself.
name.
Yeah. Criminals don't get names. That's rough.
They get numbers.
Wow. You sensed it too today, didn't you? Your ability.
Ability?
Yes, a sensitivity I lack. You'll come to understand it soon enough.
Is it the dodge roll?
No, it's your dexterity saving throws.
Wait, I wonder if he means...
My dexterity saving throws.
I have one question for the witness then. You say you saw the moment the defendant hit the victim. Is this true? Of course it's true.
Did you forget you voiced her for a second?
What's this weird vibe I'm getting?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. From the beginning. This is the Zillennial Phoenix Wright game. Talking about vibes, about being based.
What was that, Mr. Wright?
You have to find the answers to that question yourself.
The answer, right. That's a Persona reference. Today was full of
You
questions.
don't get that reference.
Not yet.
You won't get to know that reference for a long time.
Today was full of questions without answers. Most of them about Mr. Gavin.
What possible reason could he have had to commit murder? Perhaps you'll learn that in the days to come.
Huh? Wait. You don't know, do you?
This locket is the key.
Huh? Well, that reminds me. I met the girl whose picture is in your locket. Do you know her?
Yeah, she's my daughter,
She's your daughter.
Paul. I already told you that, Apollo.
Your daughter, right?
Yes, my daughter. That's right. She's my daughter. You know, my daughter.
She's cute. Is she single?
Actually, I wouldn't know. You were right about this locket, though.
Eh?
I took this off his neck the night he died. But it looks like our dear Russian scam artist saw me. So the truth is, this locket really did belong to him.
Wait, but that's perjury. I'm gonna have to arrest you. You testified. You said the locket was yours. You're a criminal.
I said no such thing, actually.
Uh-huh.
I merely said that it was a locket with my daughter's picture inside.
I still feel like this is somehow illegal.
A subtle distinction, but a distinction nonetheless.
That's just lying by omission.
It is lying by omission, 100%. And it's the truth.
Wait, but then why? Why was the victim wearing a locket with a picture of her daughter inside it?
Sometimes the straightest path to the truth isn't the best one. Give it time. You're still getting started with your career.
Speaking of which, I may be out of a job. I work for Gavin Law Offices after all, and I just kind of got my boss arrested. That was probably not a really good long-term move.
Yeah, probably not.
Still can't believe I just saw Mr. Gavin get led away in handcuffs.
Apollo,
Yes?
how about coming to work for me?
Eh? You mean at the Radico Law Offices? I mean, there's not a single attorney in my generation that doesn't know about it.
Can't imagine that to be true, but
Wait, but didn't you... You're not a...
oh, I turned in my badge. Yeah, I'm not an attorney anymore.
That incident 7 years ago. That legendary trial. And at the middle of it all was one man. Phoenix Wright. The case reached its sad conclusion, and he left law for good.
For good. Don't look into future games.
Have you ever thought about coming back to the courts?
I'm not qualified to start in a court of law, I'm afraid. Didn't you notice in today's trial? There was a single piece of forged evidence.
Forged evidence? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about evidence that shouldn't have existed. A naughty magician's trick.
Can I meet this naughty magician?
Oh my god.
One piece of evidence.
I mean, that's on me. That's on me. I shouldn't have called her that.
Yeah, why do you call his daughter a naughty magician?
Yeah, that's terrible. Please, fathers, do not call your daughters naughty in any capacity. That's not... It's not the vibe anymore.
One piece of evidence struck me as odd, it's true. It just seemed, well, too perfect. I'll bet this was the forged evidence. Do you know?
Yeah, the card.
Card?
That's the whole reason. Yeah, because Gavin was like, how do you have this card? You shouldn't have it because he has it. But if he were to admit that he has it, then he would admit that he was there. So he couldn't incriminate himself by admitting that he had it, but he knew that Justice Phoenix Wright was lying and forged evidence.
You mean this, don't you? I got this from your daughter, Mr. Wright.
Yes, that card couldn't have been found at the crime scene. Why? Because the killer took it with him and left. When he left. Leaving the wrong card in its place. Luckily for us. The court can't accept this evidence. It's a fraud. A fraud? How can you be so sure? I would think the only person who could claim it was a fraud would be the one who took the real card from the crime scene. The real killer.
Oh, cool, man. I hope you have some good sandwiches. And grape juice.
And grape juice. My verdict was already handed down 7 years ago.
Then you really...
Yes, I forged this card.
Wait, that means I used forged evidence in the trial. Can't I be disbarred now?
Yeah, he did.
Well, like,
Technically,
literally in the first Ace Attorney game, we found out that Miles Edgeworth used forged evidence without knowing he used forged evidence, and he still got punishment even though he didn't know.
Yeah.
And, like, they knew he didn't know, but the fact that he used it still was illegal. So, like,
Yeah.
Phoenix just made Apollo break the law that should have repercussions on him.
Yeah, and now he's like essentially blackmailing him into working for him. Otherwise, he could release that information. Phoenix is the villain in this.
Is he the baddie?
I mean, he is a baddie. Isn't that right? Cool name. Isn't that right? Well, look at the crime scene. Should have told you it wasn't real.
But you can't do something like that and call yourself an attorney.
Who's calling themselves an attorney, Apollo?
So it's true. The rumor is true. You're a criminal. 7 years ago.
None of that matters much now, does it?
I mean, it sort of still matters if you're a convicted criminal. I punched him.
I was gonna say, did he hit him? It's your story from here on out, Apollo.
Did I just commit assault?
And then he like dissolves into like,
In front of cops?
Perhaps I can help you turn the next page. My office address. Drop in if you'd like.
Also, did we just in front of the bailiffs talk about we used forged evidence? Mr. Wright.
Oh, about your uppercut.
I wouldn't say that's a punch. That's an uppercut.
Try yelling, take that next time. Find it packs a lot more punch.
Is that what you do in Marvel vs. Capcom?
Take that! And Apollo, thanks for today. I had a good time.
Cool name.
See, and he dissolves into particles.
And with that, Mr. Wright walked out the door. And that's how my first trial ended. And my last, because now I'm going to jail. A lot of mysteries went unsolved. And at the time, I had no idea they were all related. Every mystery that day, connected by a single thread of logic. I'd find that out soon enough. My name is Apollo Justice, former attorney at law. And this is how my story occurred.
And
Oh, we'll get to start a bit of the case, too. Turnabout Trump achievement for completion of Turnabout Trump.
Various words have their origin, and I'm going to talk about probably the most quintessential Canadian word of them all.
We know we could hear that, right?
And learn.
you can still hear? I muted myself.
Oh, we can still hear.
I muted myself on both. I'm literally muted on every device. The internet
Nope.
lies. That's fine. That's fine. I just wanted to hear the video that Cool Name sent me. Well, Cool Name put it on the Discord.
As long as you draw a breath, the wheel of fate turns. I don't know who this is. Oh, this might be you. Maybe?
As long as you draw breath, the wheel of fate turns. What is going on? Is this ramen guy? Spinning big crimes in the big cities.
Little
and
crimes.
when the wheel stops. Is this Larry Butts? You die.
Is that the Wheel of Fortune Arcana? But I think they just call it Fortune in Persona.
The Fortune Arcana. I do think they just call it Fortune, you're right.
But it is Wheel of Fortune in, like, actual tarot, right?
Yes. It's the Wheel of Fortune and Tarot.
2 months have passed since Mr. Gavin's arrest. Also, I don't think you were doing Wheel of Fortune's theme there.
I was doing John Cena.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
I'm
first
aware.
my first trial, and I lost both my mentor and my job. Yeah, I'll admit it. I was screwed. You might be that's me. You might be wondering how I ended up here. But even when I hit bottom, I told myself I'd never come here. Honest.
I have a digital tarot deck, and I just pulled a card, and it's the Four of Cups. And it inherently it gives the digital tarot card I have tells you what the explanation of the card. And it's like the Four of Cups is a card of dissatisfaction because at its heart it is a contradiction. The game knows. The game knows.
I love that finger guillotine.
Oh yeah, we
It-
established. Didn't they have that in the other ones too? In one of them,
No, I probably
or
remember
did we
from
joke
when we
about
did
it the
that.
first time?
Probably.
Yeah.
But like, it's like one of those like Chinese finger traps, but it's more serious. It's an adult Chinese finger trap. Okay,
Can
just
you read
What?
tarot decks on Twitch? Do you think?
probably. I don't see why
Is that
not.
against TOS?
I don't know why it wouldn't be.
I don't know. I feel like you know a lot about that.
Okay, Justice, time to stop trembling.
Ah, you must be here for the interview. Right this way.
Huh?
Hello there. You found the right place.
That's how she used it. Welcome.
Oh, what's with this girl? She's kind of cute.
Well now, shall we begin?
Begin what?
Right. First things first. Any special talents?
Talents?
Yes, well, you must have at least one.
Yeah, my cord's of steel. Well, I
Well-
guess. Defending?
Defending? An unusual talent, but it'll do. A little jazzing up, of course.
Whatting up?
A little acid jetting up.
You think so?
Well, let's give it a go, shall we?
Huh?
Go ahead, show me. Defend. Just give it a week off. Don't hold back now.
Punches her in the face. No uppercuts.
No, you're defending. You can't attack.
The best defense is good offense.
Well, yeah, but like that's not what you said. You didn't say you were a good offending defense.
What are you talking about? I can't just defend here. Like, and maybe it can be like in the room over there. Like,
No, isn't she like 14?
well, I'm only like 25. I don't know how old Apollo is.
Ugh.
First lesson, a professional.
This is
account-
anime.
Anywhere. She's actually a 300-year-old dragon.
Thanks.
You're welcome. We want people to be laughing with us, not at us.
Thanks. But I'm not sure why they should be laughing at all.
What?
Okay,
What
that
exactly do you think you came here to do?
that was not right because I googled Apollo Justice age and Google's dumb AI answer said 17 and like no.
Yeah.
Oh, don't Google this. There are spoilers.
Oh, I wouldn't. That's why I'm not doing anything.
Yeah, Apollo Justice age and Apollo Justice. 22, supposedly.
Yeah, cool name, got it right. Oh, 22. A fine vintage, cool name.
Do we have? No, not yet. What? Defend? No?
Excuse me, but do you know where you are?
Huh? The Writing Co. law offices, right?
Oh. I was afraid of that. Don't worry, you're not the first.
Look, what's going on here? Who are you? Came here to meet with the person in charge.
Well, you've apparently made no fewer than 2 mistakes.
Mistakes? But I got a call from Mr. Wright this morning.
Perhaps you should go read the sign out front again.
What's there to read? Look, it says right there. Oh. Why does it say Wright Talent Agency? Or WTA?
What? Huh? Welcome to the Right Talent Agency, where you've always come to the right place. I'm Trucy Wright, CEO. I'm a magician.
You're a CEO? Wow, you must make millions.
Technically, you're the CEO of your stream.
Don't I get to pick? Can't I
You're
appoint you
everything-
CEO?
You could appoint me as CEO, but you wouldn't, because then I would be in control of executing decisions.
Well,
which you
my
wouldn't.
job is to be in charge of the E CEO.
Then you would be CEO. That's not how that works.
It all came flooding back. The trial, that girl.
Cool name. Cool name. Wants to be CEO. Hello, sir. Please pick a card. Oh, he wants to be CEO in the universe in which you control the CEO. That's what cool name wants.
I'm sorry, the position's already taken.
Ooh. Not served. Oh, shaken, not served. Not stirred. Whoa. I'm having a stroke.
Taken, not
What?
turd.
No! Taken, not turd? Is that what you said?
I didn't say shaken. You turned shaken into taken, so.
Taken, not turd. Oh,
Trucy Wright.
terrible. Here, check out our flyer.
Position is no longer closed.
So, what's your name?
Apollo. Apollo Justice, attorney at law. It's not a fake name, I promise.
Oh, these are interesting. Interesting buttons.
What do you mean?
Wow. I was not expecting them to look like that.
What?
The buttons, they look like I'm just like, didn't the not the buttons right there, like the other ones, those.
Oh, these. Yeah, no, I'm not changed for the HD. The HD
Yeah.
buttons.
Honestly, kind of a downgrade if I do say so myself.
A blue silk hat, just like the one Trucy's wearing.
Oh, that's just for show. Don't wear it, please.
Last thought from my mind, honest.
I put it there so clients can see and know who I am. Nothing says magician like a silk top hat.
Are we referencing case circus? I don't remember the Dutch number that is.
Okay, circus.
2-3? The big very big top
Isn't
circus.
that
Well, because
isn't that chemical plant zone, boss?
it's the case with Maximilian
Oh.
Galactica,
Maximilian Galactic.
or Billy Bob John, I think was his real name.
Billy Bob John, yeah.
And he had his 3 signature things, and one of them was a silk top hat. Everybody always shouted the 3 things. It's a white rose, silk top hat, and something cape. Some kind of cape. Strange split box leers at me from the wall. Is this one of those boxes for cutting people in half? No,
Right,
this one
cabinet
cuts
is
them in
used for the
thirds.
illusion- That's right. This cabinet is used for the illusion called the zigzag.
I've seen one on TV, but why is one just sitting here in your office? It was sold by Billy Mays.
We don't have to talk about Billy Mays right now. Oh, it's a little big for me, you see. So I'm using it as furniture. Hats in the top, shirts in the middle, pants down below. I think it's a nice touch, don't you?
It's not exactly what I'd call a welcoming decor. You don't know Billy Mays' cool name? He's like the most famous person in history.
I'm honestly, as you say that, it probably is because I'm looking up that case, and Billy Bob Johns hit the ventriloquist with a bottle of glass, with a glass juice bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it probably is. Don't touch Mr. Charlie!
I mean, Billy Mays might have been Canadian, I don't know. Mr. Charlie? Oh, Charlie!
And in this office, the tree, right?
Yeah, he was Mia's tree.
He's been in the office much longer than I have. Daddy's mentor had a great fondness for Mr. Charlie. He's lived here since Daddy was a rookie attorney.
Huh, Mr. Charlie. Right.
Now I take care of him.
That's an old tree. An old sepia-tinted photo of a man in a silk top hat.
That's my favorite magician. I want to be just like him someday.
Sure, nice. Guess it's good to have a role model, even if he's got to be well over 100.
How rude.
What, did you read my mind? There are all sorts of strange paraphernalia sitting on top of the piano.
Those are my magic props. Practice, practice, practice. Professional lever neaves. A professional never leaves their weapons far from reach.
You can't play the piano with all the junk on it.
Oh, no one plays here anyways, and the neighbors complain.
Guess Mr. Wright really can't play. Whoa, that fork is floating! Not. Why do you have a plate of plastic spaghetti here?
That right there is the whole reason I became a magician.
Do tell.
I saw a plate just like that in a restaurant once. The floating fork looked so real, that's when I knew. Someday I'd make magic more amazing than that spaghetti.
Trucy, no magic is more amazing than spaghetti. I'm offended. Oops. That's one of those hula hoop things everyone was crazy about way back when.
Really? I had no idea these were that popular.
I'm not so bad with one myself, actually.
Yeah? I'm still learning. So you can really make someone levitate with it? Show me.
Huh? I have no idea how. Just a normal hula hoop, isn't it? That table doesn't look very sturdy.
You've never seen one of these? It's a magic table.
So, like, you make this teapot disappear?
So you might think, but that's not it. Before your very eyes, the contents of the pot change. From Earl Grey to Darjeeling.
Kinda hard to see the difference, I'd think. Do you not know the difference between Earl Grey and Darjeeling?
Do you not know the difference between Earl Grey and Darjeeling?
We're not discussing me. We're discussing Apollo. All these legal books must be Mr. Wright's leftovers. There's a lot of unrelated books in here, too. One Trick a Day, Magic for Idiots. Oh, she's an idiot. That makes a lot of sense. You'd think a pro magician would aim a bit higher. Okay. I guess that's everything. There was no clues. So, is this really a talent agency?
You bet. Daddy started it 7 years ago when he quit law. Of course, we only have 2 people signed up right now.
2 people. Does that include you?
Jersey Wright, magician extraordinaire. Done a lot of stage shows. Paid, too. I am a professional, you know.
Alright.
Promise you'll come to one of my shows, okay? Let's see, and the other person our agency represents is Phoenix Wright, pianist extra extraordinaire.
There, you put an extra in there.
I did, because he's super extra. But it's actually the opposite. It's pianist extraordinaire, because he's just like, just regular ordinary. He's like...
No, he's even
so
more...
ordinary.
He's more ordinary than...
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, he's more ordinary. He's not extraordinaire. Like, he's not extraordinary. He's just...
More ordinary. He's even
the
more...
Larry...
like... He's more ordinary at the piano than we are.
Yeah. He's the Larry of the Pokemon universe of Phoenix Wright. He's the Larry.
Larry of the Pokemon? Oh. I was thinking Larry Butch, and I was like, how are you being Larry Butch of the Pokemon universe?
No,
Phoenix
no,
Wright? What?
Larry from Pokemon in Phoenix Wright.
Yeah, cool, they made Shift Magic for idiot. I mean, that she was an idiot then, so once an idiot, always.
Y'all are so mean to Trucy. Is that her name, Trucy?
She's 17. Your dad,
17.
in other words. Didn't he say you couldn't play the piano?
Our talent agency. Our agency doesn't see that as a problem. Why, there are many magicians that can do magic.
At least you're optimistic, I'll give you that. So you're his, or your Phoenix Wright's daughter?
That's right, after Daddy quit law 7 years ago. I promised I would keep him fed.
Wow, he was pretty young when he fucked.
Whoa!
You gotta say it!
Whoa! I mean, you get one. So I'm kind of his sugar daddy! Get it?
No.
God. No! I'm in charge of this whole office.
You're
too.
just jealous that your sugar daddy isn't your 17-year-old daughter.
Can we please? Don't manifest that into the universe. That's the
Oh,
worst.
we were wrong.
Told you. No, I said she was 14. Pretty amazing for a young lass of 15, wouldn't you agree?
15? How old is Mr. Wright?
Daddy? Oh, he's 33 this year.
Okay, that's not that weird. He was 18 then when he fucked.
Oh my gosh.
What? People have kids when they're 18. I'm sure there's a good explanation. I hope.
Yeah, people can have kids at theoretically a very, very young age. Like, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay, but
I'm
people
saying-
can, like, legally.
Yeah. No,
Like-
my scoffing isn't at that statement. It's just the continuation of using the naughty word.
Yeah, cool name. I actually was, when Inheritance was done protesting, which it was taking a while, I was going to mention that Dahlia, I think Phoenix would have been with Dahlia at that point in time. But if you remember, that wasn't Dahlia.
Yeah, it was her sister.
Yeah, so this would be Iris's daughter then, by that logic.
Terrible.
She could have given birth in the jail cell or something. That was actually...
No, because, like... No, because she wasn't pregnant while the case was going on.
No, she was pregante.
She was pregante. Oh, you're right, because she went to jail the first case, didn't she?
Iris or Dahlia?
Dahlia went to jail.
Iris never went to jail. Iris never did.
Iris went to... Yeah, she became a ghost.
Iris? No, Iris didn't. Iris never died.
Dahlia became a ghost.
Yeah. After she was
possessed.
executed after...
Yeah.
the second case where she was found guilty. Well, no, she wasn't found guilty. It wasn't. Neither were her case, but yeah, there's 2 cases with her where she was the killer,
Yeah.
and then she was executed.
It's my favorite Pokemon.
About Mr. Wright giving up law. It's because of that incident 7 years ago, wasn't it?
Eh? You know about that?
Not the details. I remember the news, though. It was a big deal.
So I hear. I was too young to understand what was going on. I'll ask Daddy about it next time I get the chance.
Daddy, right. That reminds me about Mr. Wright. He gave me a call this morning to come in.
Daddy's not here right now. He's in the hospital.
Wait, I thought you said you're his daddy. The hospital?
It's like, it's a recursive sugar daddy. Like, she just means to say that they share the bills.
No, neither of them actually pays the bills. So they're both assume the other does.
Mitsurugi pays the bills secretly. He doesn't tell anybody. He's like, these idiots would die if it wasn't for me. Yeah, he's on strict bed rest until he gets better.
What? Okay. Which hospital is Mr. Wright in? I'll pay him a visit.
Oh, the Hickfield Clinic. It's quite close.
Right, well, I'll be going now, and I'll give this showbiz gig some thought, okay?
Wait, I'll go with you.
I mean, I wouldn't say he's rich, cool name. He is financially stable.
He's not rich. My parents are rich. I hate those people.
Well, I don't know if they've never mentioned his parents. But...
No, I know, but like I was about to say because his dad was like a well-known defense attorney, so but then I went into that spiral of like, I'm not rich, my parents are rich. It's like, please, you're rich too.
He was a defense attorney. We've seen zero evidence of rich defense attorneys in this.
Have you seen his cravat?
You can dress fancy without being rich.
Poor people don't wear cravats.
You know, I'm going to start wearing a cravat just to spite you now.
I have a cravat.
I was going to say the only example we know of a defense attorney that actually was like wealthy and ace attorney was Grossberg. And that was because of stuff with a villain that I'm not going to get into. But
spoilers.
See, Cool Name's been with poor guys that have worn cravats. See?
They have cravats. They're tortured artists.
Or they just are in this situation where we're wearing it to spite somebody that said that poor people don't wear cravats.
This is my revenge cravat.
So this is Mr. Wright's hospital.
Oh, I remember Grossberg. Do you want me to voice him? Or do you want
this isn't Grossberg.
Isn't this not Grossberg? Hicksville Clinic. What's his name?
We never got his real name. They called him Director Hottie, but then it was clear he wasn't the director. He was just he was a patient pretending to be the director. No, currently you're voicing the only non-Phoenix character, so I'll voice him. But it angers me. This is one of the very few characters they brought back from the original trilogy. Like, and I'm sure if there's any others besides him and Phoenix. And visitors, are you? Yeah. Are you the doctor? Yep. Dr. Hickfield's name.
Good morning, Doctor.
Oh, hiya there, Trucy. Cute as ever.
Gross.
Do we ever get an age for this creep? No, we've never gotten an age, but he was in the game like the original trilogy, so...
Is this Daddy's room?
Oh yeah, except he's gone for a morning checkup. Be back soon. How are you, Miss Trudy? Got any places you'd like examined?
Oh my god!
Oh, you missed a lot.
Doctor.
Oh no, it's the same one.
The nurse was looking for you.
Why, it isn't the daddy of the cutest little thing in town. I guess I'll be off then, eh? Later, Trucy.
Disgusting.
Wow, what an odd bird that guy was.
Good morning. Didn't expect you so soon, Apollo.
He sure wasn't openly doing sexual harassment in front of two other witnesses,
To a
including
minor.
a father. Minor. She is 17, and this is Japanifornia, so...
She's 15.
15. Okay, sure. Japanifornia's age of consent is probably 14.
Japan's is 16, for what it's worth.
Yeah, but this is Japanifornia. It's worse. It's this place is worse in every way.
Fair.
Mr. Wright. What's that on TV? It looks like some sort of action hero show.
Oh, I know that one. That's a Sniffling Samurai. His booger flick attack is a big hit with the grade school crowd.
I hate this timeline. I had no idea you like this kind of stuff, Mr. Wright.
Yeah, why didn't it just bring back Steel Samurai? Like, why did it come up with a whole nother samurai?
Steel Samurai, the show ended during the events of the first game.
But didn't they have, like, Nickel Princess and all these
They
other
had the
spin-offs
Pink
and
Princess
stuff?
was after that, and then they had the Nickel Samurai.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
So-
like 8 years later. All of those shows were like 1 year.
They all got canceled. So now we're Sniffling Samurais now.
I mean, there was literally a joke about them lasting like a year, so.
That's fair. Well, what else is there to do when you're stuck in bed? Besides, the episode will just keep piling up if I don't keep up, you know?
Yeah. Try not buying them.
Now's the only time I get to watch and write up my reports.
Your reports?
It's a long story. Like, a lot of things, actually. Yeah, like, I think he, like, writes Mitsurugi, like, synopsises of the show.
No, he calls them and just summarizes them from point to blank, like a child just summarizing a movie.
Yeah. It's like, hey, babe, yeah, I'm doing okay. Yeah, in the hospital again. Long story. Either way, in this episode, it's Netflix Samurai.
Like it's the very
Doesn't
like
even blink.
the very like ADD explanations where you like start explaining something and you're like, oh wait, I forgot this part earlier, so wait, let me mention this. And
Yeah, yeah. Edgeworth is just like casually trying to make dinner while he's like, wait, can you go back? Where? Why is there a kaiju now? It's like, oh, 3 episodes ago. 3 episodes ago.
you didn't tell me this part. Oh yeah, I didn't think it was important at the time, so I kind of left it out.
That's the true ADD / neurotypical romance right there.
A swaying, spiraling stack of DVD cases. The Steel Samurai, the Nickel Samurai, the Pink Princess, the Zappy Samurai, Electric Bugaboo.
Oh, so they're literally making the joke right now.
They're all children's action hero shows.
This kid I know keeps sending them to me.
Wait, is that true?
No, I think it's Maya.
Oh, like a niece or nephew?
Something like that.
It might be Pearl, too.
It might be Pearl.
Great the collection. The kids' parents must be really generous with their
Oh
allowance.
no, it's definitely Edgeworth. It's definitely Edgeworth.
Funny, Mr. Ray doesn't seem like the type that kids would like. Real chaos comes when they both have ADHD.
Oh, trust me. I live that chaos every day.
Mr. Ray's bed. It's really messy.
Look how messy this is. You're just hopeless without me, aren't you, Daddy?
Yikes, she's attempting to clean up. Look out.
You got me. What can I say? I was raised in a barn. Try not to let the word get out, Apollo, if you don't mind.
Yeah, might ruin your illustrious career pretending to play the piano.
Wow, Apollo. No need to be an asshole about it. Dang. Ah, Daddy, you stuck some grape juice in again? You know you're not allowed to drink grape juice at a hospital. Why? Why would they care?
We're lied.
The doctor said you weren't supposed to be drinking that here.
Only alcohol's allowed here.
Only straight 100 proof alcohol. Trucy, look at the label. Oh, deep sea mineral water. That's fine, I guess. I switched the labels. Don't tell Trucy, okay?
Trucy, he switched the labels.
Nah.
What can I say? The man loves his grape juice.
That's the worst. Is it actually like is Phoenix Wright an alcoholic?
I'm pretty sure the joke is, but
Dang, I feel bad.
I don't think that's supposed to be a little fun tangent on the difference between evening and night. That sounds ideal to me. Like, it's essentially just having the stepladder argument, but mid like steamy session.
Yeah.
That's like an ideal. That's a couple's goal.
Oh yeah, no. My partner and I, we were discussing like paying for said bit like project in the house. Remember I mentioned earlier in the stream.
Yeah.
And then we started flossing while doing it. Don't ask.
Like
And
like the
in
dance.
between, yeah, we're doing the dance floss while we were discussing this like really expensive, like unexpected expense to the house. And then I don't know where I started asking. I'm like, what would you think? Where do you think you'd go if you did it quickly enough? He's like what? The floss. If you floss quickly enough, do you think you'd go down or do you think you'd go up? And then he started doing it faster. And then he's like, oh, definitely down. I'm like, no, I think you'd go up. Like you start going down if you once your hands reach the ground, then yeah, then the force would like pull you towards the center.
Is this a real
Otherwise,
thing?
If you do it quickly enough, I think. If you do it quickly enough, I think you go up. No, why would it be real?
This conversation
And then we Yeah, no, this actually happened. No, the conversation did actually happen.
about the dance.
And yeah. While we were talking about the very expensive, unexpected like expense to the house that we need to do. And then we finished talking about the expensive thing that we need to do. Like that's just how we talk.
This looks like a child's toy piano.
Yeah, Outcry and I do also dance to each other all the time while talking. It's just a thing. You gotta practice. Wouldn't want my fingers to get stiff. Pro always keeps his weapon close at hand. Shall I play you a tune?
No thanks.
How unfortunate. I so rarely get the chance to play. I want to see Phoenix Wright playing on a little baby piano, a la Charlie Brown. Just like hunched over. Ding, 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 ding.
What is I can't remember what the joke is. Play Jingle Bells, that's it. Play Jingle Bells. It's a Charlie Brown Christmas thing.
For all your Charlie Brown heads out there.
Yeah, Susie. Is it Susie? Is that her name? She's
Lucy.
Lucy.
Every time I think of Charlie Brown, I think of Patty Mayonnaise, but that's from Doug.
Well, Lucy tells Schroeder to play Jingle Bells, and he starts playing it, and she's like, "No, Jingle Bells." She plays it like at a different pitch. She's like, "No, Jingle Bells." He plays it like he's playing at a higher pitch. It's Peanuts humor.
I mean, it is Peanuts humor. What happened?
So, what happened?
Who could have imagined it? Me, victim of a hit and run.
A hit and you're hit by a car?
He tried to serve, I'll give him that.
But then I ran into the direction he was swerving intentionally.
Picture me tossed 30 feet through the air.
New record!
You only stop it when my...
Listen.
I guess.
I ask you this favor as a trusted friend. If I ever, on camera, get hit by a car and tossed through the air, please dub it to have the Mario Party new record when I
I
land.
thought you wanted the Super Smash Brothers hit, like baseball hit thing.
You could do both. The new record was when I hit the ground.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I got it. I got you. That's a promise. Only stopping when my head hit the telephone pole.
You had a telephone pole with your head? Are you okay?
Thankfully, my only injury was a sprained ankle.
He really is as lucky as they say. It also does not seem realistic that if you forcibly flew through the air and it hit your head on a telephone pole,
Yeah, if
you should have a head injury.
You should, yeah. Literally, it would be impossible for you to go 30 feet through the air and hit a telephone pole with your head and only have a sprained ankle from it.
There's something that, well, it just doesn't sit right. I just can't believe you have a daughter, Mr. Wright. And she's so hot. I mean, big. Not fat, but I mean, you know what I mean. Like, her butt maybe, but like...
I mean, if you were to ask me, I would say she's thicked up with 2 C's, but that's like neither here nor there. Trussy's still a child.
Oh, so she's gonna get thicker?
Ah!
Listen, I'm trying to get Apollo canceled.
Curse! Daddy, how many times do I have to remind you? I'm at least 4 C's thick already. I'm not a child anymore. Have you seen my dump truck cake recently?
This is awful.
It's terrible. You started it.
Listen, but you're escalating it. I can't take full responsibility.
Ha ha. Ha ha. But you'll always be daddy's little baby girl to me, Trucy.
My foot. I'm not buying it.
Oh, something you should know about Trucy. She's a magician. Oh, that's you.
She's a magician, right? She told me.
Not a mere stage musician. She's a genius. Tee-hee. Aw, Daddy. Soon you'll come to appreciate her talent.
I sure hope it has nothing to do with her underwear.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
You could just tell me things instead of insinuating them. So why did you contact me? What
Why
could
do you keep thinking I'm Apollo?
because I figure it made sense for Wright to be like, why did you contact me? Because we're the ones that came here.
Yeah.
No. What could the Wright Talent Agency possibly want with me?
No need to get prickly now.
Hey, I didn't ask to be dragged in like this.
Huh? But didn't you come into the office on your own free will anyway?
Well, yeah, of course. Help, we're in big trouble here at the office. Big. I thought someone was dying.
So you don't think this is big trouble? My talent agency represents only 2 people. One of them is in the hospital. That's right, Daddy. How are we gonna pay this one's rent? And the groceries?
But I thought you're the sugar daddy.
Yeah, that's the problem with such a type operation. It's a symbiotic relationship. When one of us falls, the other 2 must fall.
Hey, this isn't exactly a suitable conversation to be having with a 15-year-old kid.
In any case, if Apollo here can't help you, you have to transfer to a new school again. No, I can't. I only just made friends.
You have friends?
Why would you have to transfer to a new school?
Another foster care parent or something? I don't know.
I guess so, but like that's such a weird. Because like the subtext is that she wouldn't be able to go to a private school or whatever, right? Like, but like again means that like it is like Phoenix Wright just like slowly going to like cheaper private academies until he's like, I don't probably school it is.
I don't know anything about Japan's schooling system. Do they have public schools?
I think it's all public.
Oh, I thought like Shujin Academy was like a fancy prep school and stuff. You have a Trucy line. You there? Oh no, we can't hear you. Oh no. Try now? No? Try unmuting yourself on Discord, I guess.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Although you're way louder, but... Okay, I guess that's what we have to do until it resorts itself, but we're about done, so...
How could you do this to me? To us? Polly?
Oh, what? Now it's my fault? Just adjust that.
Yeah, I got really confused when you said that I missed the line. I'm like, I totally read it. I read it twice.
Yeah, no, you just suddenly went quiet.
On that note, how about you come work for us? Got the perfect client for you already lined up.
A client? You mean I get to do my job? I get to defend in court? Alright, I'll hear what you have to say.
You got him, Daddy. Hook, line, and sinker.
Wait, did I just fall for a scam?
Now it's time to reel him in.
Oh god. Is this a legal contract? Or is this a verbal contract?
It's a verbal contract.
It's official, I'm scared. I thought screwed. Sorry.
I'm scarred for leaf.
We'll probably read this. I'm trying to think if it should stop before or after reading this, but... Alright, so who's the client?
Yes. Here, take a look at the map and I'll explain. Last night, I left the office just before 9 o'clock. I was going to that Indochine?
Indochine?
Now you're muted. I'm assuming it's Indochine. Indochine pasta joint. Al dente's.
I'm muted?
Al dente's! Al dente! It's
God.
like spaghetti. You have it al dente.
I'm muted. How do I fix?
Al dente's. No, I can't hear you yet. Just keep going, so we can...
You can't hear me still? What if I...
There you go.
Oh, you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now you're much louder than you were before too.
Okay. Well, it doesn't affect the stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is al dente's.
But is it Indochine?
I don't know.
Indochine? Is it a Canadian word? That we're gonna just get canceled by all of Canada for it? I play piano there, of course. That's when it happened.
Sound effect.
The car sent me flying, nicked a telephone pole, and zoomed away. Creepy, huh?
Just a tad? It's almost as creepy
Get
as
it?
hearing you tell the story like it was no big deal.
It nicked a telephone pole. That's what he calls it when he hits telephone poles. Cause Nick is his nickname.
You just got nicked.
Yeah, you just got nicked. It's like, do you have a word for hitting things with your head? It's like, yeah.
He has
It happens surprisingly often.
He has a prank show where he just comes out of nowhere, headbutts somebody, and says, "You just got nicked."
You just got nicked, and then Maya just comes out and like dabs, and then she like runs away. Like no music, you just like hear her like her obies just like clip clopping.
The whole reason he has the show is because he hasn't seen Maya in like 5 years, and he's trying to get contact with her, but she always runs away before he can talk to her after he does that.
Yeah, he's like, Maya, please! And he's like, clap, clap, clap. She's dead. She doesn't stop.
Did you read that line?
The car sped off in this direction. So good luck.
Huh?
You wanted a client, didn't you? Well, I'm your client.
Wait. So you want me to join your agency so you
Oh,
can
you got
pay the
muted.
bill? Oh, I'm muted.
Just by your energy, I could tell that
Oh,
what you
no.
said was very funny. I'm very upset that I missed it.
Can you hear me now?
No.
I didn't
Why
finish.
is it right at the end? We were doing so well. We were doing so well.
How about now?
Ugh,
How about
no.
now?
I can see your lips moving. That's why I know you're asking me, but like I can't hear you.
How
But
about...
it's very funny that he's like, "Well, I'm your client." It's like so we're not getting paid because like you're not paying me,
Here-
are you? You don't have the
Is
money
this-
to pay me.
Can you hear me now?
I can't hear you. There you go.
Oh, you hear me?
Yeah.
I did nothing at that moment. So, no, I was gonna say like, so he wants us to join his agency because they're down a person and can't pay rent, and the client he wants for us is him. Like, where's the
Yeah.
money gonna?
Yeah, where's the money gonna come from? Unless like Phoenix is gonna sue. But like I thought he was the defense attorney. Who's he defending? Like you don't win court cases defending them. You gotta prosecute the person who attacked you.
Well, yeah, another line.
Find the people who knocked me into that telephone pole.
Well, hold on. I'm a defense attorney, not a
Oh, there we
detective.
go. Don't worry. Once you found the guy, I intend to sue him. Then you can stick it to him in court.
I'm not a prosecutor either.
Oh, the game establishes it.
I'm sorry, but this is crazy. I'm going home.
Don't get so worked up. It was just a joke.
Huh?
Oh, Daddy. Sorry, Apollo. He just loves jokes, you know? Even the ones that aren't very funny. Your real client should be stopping by the office any time now.
The office? You mean the talent agency? No harm in going. It's not like I have anything else to do.
One more thing. Don't look into my accident. Do look into my accident too, would you? Marked a scene of the tragedy on this map. It's right in front of this park. Should be easy to find.
So, he's going to make me investigate this after all.